Hey guys, Shop Talk Podcast.
I'm a zero pro guy.
I did it, yeah. I ran a marathon.
The only crank screw?
Am I the town hero?
3 laps of that are just... Okay.
Hey guys, Shop Talk Podcast, episode 54. It's a pretty cool episode, as you can see. This episode is brought to you by Brett Johnson Electric out of Alexandria. They can help you with all your electrical needs for new construction, remodels, light commercial projects, and more! Exclamation point. They service West Central Minnesota. You can contact them at 320-491-6641. Fan of the show. Support the people that support us.
Yep.
That's a nice little touch right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you haven't seen it yet. This episode is pretty special. We got Crank and Sons, Northern Crankshaft experts here, Eric and Jon Rouland.
Yeah, thanks for coming down here, guys.
Thank you guys for having us. Thank you.
We gotta figure this out.
We'll get it figured out.
Maybe just turn theirs all the way up, Brody, just to make sure that
It picks up everything.
Yeah, picks up everything around them.
Yeah.
But no, thanks for coming down here, you guys. It's nice. It's you're actually kind of local to the area because you're down here hunting. Mm-hmm. And then just telling you guys right now, just sitting here, it's like, yeah, I live right across from your hunting shack.
Within 100 yards.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, you got to get closer to the mic.
Right there.
But yeah, so yeah, it was convenient to get you guys in here while you're this close, because usually, Eric, you live down in the cities and work up in Thief River. And
I do. Yep.
So
yep.
it worked out
great.
Yep, worked out really good. But so I don't know. There's so many avenues to start here, Kyle.
Yeah, there really is. Now that we got Johnny Crank in here, the founder of it.
Yeah.
So it starts way back.
Yep, 1981.
81?
Yep.
1981.
Yeah.
So you guys bought out all of Articat's crankshaft turning stuff, right?
We did, yes. Yep. When Arctic went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where we could have started with a little bit of current events, like from what happened just this past week with Articat. Mm-hmm. They put out a release that they were laying off people, and like the production year for 2025 had finished and everything, and they're going to fire up in 2025 for quarter one. But I actually talked to a person that was laid off today, and just kind of got a little bit more info from him on kind of what happened. And so, like, as of right now, it was like 50 to 60 people that were laid off, but actually it was kind of fired. Like, it was actually kind of walked out, fired. And it was all different departments and everything. And, like, it had been in the works for, like, the last week or so. And it was just an ongoing thing. But, like, so something they talked about for 2025, that the production line is going to be fired up. But it's actually kind of interesting that they didn't specify what it's going to be fired up for, and it's actually maybe to go through with their contracts that they have obligated with Skidoo, making those MXZ 200s, and then also with their tracker line for the ATVs and UTVs. So they actually didn't specify on Articat this or that. So I thought that was really interesting to hear.
It's really strange because they just come out with that 858 engine. You would think they would be pumping them out like crazy.
They actually didn't make nearly as many 858s as they wanted to. I think they wanted to shoot for around 9,000 or something, and I think is closer to half of that. So that's just that's just the industry of just, we didn't have any snow last year. So it's really hard to sell snow wheels with no snow. So because it was a really hyped up sled, and like the catalyst was really hyped up down at Heydays. So it's not the platform or anything. It's just the sign of the times.
Yeah.
And they're praying for a buyer. That's pretty much what's going to get them out of this. Is they need somebody to buy them out.
Polaris.
Yeah.
Well, there was talks of employee buyout, kind of what Polaris did.
Yeah.
They bought themselves out from Textron many years ago. Yep. So there was talks of the rumors of that, but nobody knows anything about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't have any money, but I support that.
That's what I want to see happen. I want the opportunity to be able to buy into that and get, just general people like us to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And build it back.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
That's, not that they've done a bad job. It's just been a bad whatever, but let's build that company back into what it once was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so tough. Like if you think of it was so funny. We brought up too that he had listened to the Roger Skime podcast and episode we did with Roger and everything, and there were so many similarities of what Roger was going through back in when Cat was closing down back then to what was kind of happening just now, to where it's like departments up there with just one person running that whole department now. Just the manager is left.
Right.
And to where it was when Roger was saying that he was the lone engineer left, and he just disassembled that 440 engine just standing there.
Yeah.
And he said he didn't know why he was doing it, but he just stood there and disassembled it. But he said he even thought a lot of similarities to what was happening. Just even think back to the podcast.
Yeah.
But like when Roger said they bought it, when they fired it back up, it was in their own investments.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, Kyle? They said like it was 50 or 60,000 that each of them.
Yeah, $60,000 a piece. Invested back into it.
Yeah.
Which nowadays is not that much money.
Well, no, you got to think of what the inflation would be from
Yeah.
60,000 to now.
Yeah.
Would be
Yeah.
probably 100,000.
But the thing they need to do is make a Jag again.
There was a Jag
You need a Jag
and a Puma.
Well, you need a small CC, not necessarily a small CC. You need something affordable.
Affordable, yes.
I agree.
A commercial sled.
Yeah.
It doesn't need electronic shocks. It doesn't need a big 7S display. It doesn't need, it doesn't need all that crap to go out and ride. You need a cheap sled that everybody can afford and go out and ride.
Very reliable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, it was, they let go all their field test engineers. So now there's nobody testing anything. And but Artie Cat from the race manager, we are going racing this year, and it's going to be full bore for racing. So at least we'll try to, I know I talked to Herfindahl, and we're going to try to put Artie Cat on top of everything we can. At least try.
Yep.
At least try to fire something back up. But even with this weather we're having right now, it's unreal that we're not on the lake yet. So
Yeah, there's so many people that are loyal to the brand.
yep.
Just,
Yeah, that's where it's even, even I'm not a very big public figure in the snowmobile industry, but I have a lot of people even just message me and come up to me at like the Sioux that they think it's cool that we're only the last few like Artie Cat teams almost. And it's that
absolutely.
there's a lot
You
of
bet.
brand
You
loyal
guys are
people.
doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to bring that up a little bit because it just kind of does correlate with how it was back in the early 80s on kind of how Northern Crankshaft got started.
Yep.
Kind of going through similar things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you were working there at the time, John, when all this was going on, right?
Yep, I was.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember when they came down and said, "Hey, you're done."
Really?
Yeah, your jobs are terminated, and it was. We were kind of in the last bunch to get sent out the door, So, and then we had some meetings with the higher ups the next month, and we told them our plans, and we said we would like to buy all the inventory of crankshafts so we could keep networking with the dealers. And it worked out well. Yep.
Still doing it today, so yeah.
Yeah. Turned into a life. Yeah. Yep. And now my son Eric has got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it for John. He's done.
And so, Eric, are you guys partners still, or are you the sole owner now, or?
I'm the sole owner.
So
Yep.
okay. But yeah, like you guys, it was interesting because I was looking through doing a little bit of research for this and everything, and like your guys' Facebook page, you do a really good job of publicizing everything you have for sale and everything too. To where like just for a crankshaft shop, you guys are really good at social media.
Yeah.
I feel like
we try our best, and I can pretty much thank my wife for that.
The eBay page
Honestly.
is
eBay, yeah, I run that one. My wife does most of the social media.
What does the eBay stuff and the Amazon stuff, is that a big part of?
It's huge.
Really?
Huge.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. We have 3 eBay stores and 1 Amazon store.
Wow.
Huh.
And did you just see the way of the land of like how it was becoming more social media dependent and more internet based and shipping and all that, and you just
It kind of just grew that way. I was a number of years ago, I ran into a guy and I worked with him for a short stint, and he kind of showed me how he worked the internet with the power sports business, and it was just eye opening. And I'm like, Dad, here's a whole other avenue we can take your company. And then he was getting to the point where he wanted to, call it quits and kind of do what he wanted to do. So I was like, let's integrate all this together and just build it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. And it worked. And
it's working so far.
It's working, yeah.
It's working so far, yes. But yeah, it's the social media side of stuff is that, like, I let my wife handle that stuff because that is over my head. Like, I can deal with Amazon and eBay, but I don't.
Me either. I don't have Facebook. Yeah.
It is unreal that, like, with trying to run the Arlo page, the Shop Talk page and everything,
right.
And it's like there's money to actually be made through social media.
Absolutely.
It's
yes.
It's silly to talk about and it's like silly to think about, but there's actually avenues to like make money through it.
Yep.
So it's something I try really hard to try to push the snowmobile racing side of everything and the Shop Talk side of everything. But it's a lot of work to do it too, actually.
Absolutely.
Like it
is. Call up Jake Paul and see, how did you do this?
They just have a machine on how they roll their socials.
Well, Rogan's coming on next week, right?
Yeah. Actually, we're going down there.
Yeah. Well, we were the number 2 podcast behind him on that chart. I
tell you what, I love that chart. I love that.
I love it
missed
too.
out so much on posting that not on April Fools because I posted it at the wrong time to where people actually thought it was real.
Yeah.
So sorry to let people down. We're not number 2 in the country.
You did not let anybody down.
My wife did too good of a job editing it to where it looked real.
Did really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. It looked way too real.
Looked too real.
Way too good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
no, it was great.
But I don't know. Where do you want to go, Kyle?
Well, we started out in 81.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So I was always a big LT Gray guy growing up. We did all the vintage stuff, and that's kind of how I got to know Jon, was bringing engines up there, because when I was a kid doing the restorations and stuff like that, racing LT Grays, if you had an engine that was done by Northern Crankshafts, it was the shit. So hey, there's that shop everybody talks about. So I brought an engine in, and then that's kind of how it kicked off with Jon and doing engines and stuff like that. But Jon, you're kind of the LT Gray wizard, I'd say. Well, you were working on them at the factory back in the day. So
Spent a lot of time with them. They were great machines.
Yeah, and that's just what I thought was cool as a kid. And then, like I say, when I was growing up, anybody who had a Northern Crankshaft's engine was badass. So
thank you. That's great. Yeah, we tried hard.
Yeah. So was that like a lot of the stuff that you were doing back in the day? Was
well, like my job at Arctic, going way back, is in the fall of '69, I started in what we call the small engine shop, and our job, or we worked with anything to do with motors that were problematic in the field, like if there was something going on with a certain type of motor or something. And of course, back then we had all the German manufacturers, and just starting with the Kawasaki's like in '70. And if there was a problem with the motor, well, we'd kind of, as far as service and warranty, with the dealers and the customers, and so that's what we did all them years. And so we got to know just all the stuff that broke. And the weak stuff on the motors and stuff. And in about 1975, we started doing some crankshafts on the side for certain, if there was a motor or something, there were some failures or something, we'd help dealers out with rebuilding a crankshaft versus spending the money on a new crankshaft and stuff. So that's how, that's how it worked out, I guess, over time, and got to know the motors really well through the years, what was going on and stuff. And
I remember one time I brought you a cylinder to get honed, and it was a 76 cross-country cat, and 1 year only, and it was the only difference really, well, they're kind of unique, but they have a little boost port in them, a little groove notched out in the port. John, I didn't tell him what it was. I kind of just handed it to him, and he's like, 76 cross-country cat. I said, that's right.
I spent a lot of hours on them.
Yeah, there's no hardtail sign, but just that little extra port in there.
Yeah, that particular motor, what they did is they geared them really tall for the I-500, and so the motor would heat, and it had a lot of cooling fin, but it heated so much because they pulled it so hard. The locating pins on the rings, they would loosen after a while, and the ring would turn, and of course it would wipe the cylinder. So we fixed a lot of them.
So at Articat, were you kind of like under Roger Skyme?
No, we were in the service department.
Oh, okay.
So if, like in, I don't know, just like in 73, we had a lot of problems with high altitude issues with the carburation and the engines. So we were, in the winter of 72 and 73, we were in British Columbia a couple times, and West Coast, East Coast, just helping dealers with this stuff, And back then the dealers, they didn't know a lot. Well, I shouldn't say they didn't know a lot, but everything was kind of new and growing. So we spent a lot of time in the field, helping them. And just good times.
Yeah, I bet.
Everything was so much simpler back then.
Because it was cool when we had Roger when we were up at the Skyme Ranch and everything, and Kyle actually brought you up to Roger, and he spoke very highly of you.
Oh, I knew Roger since like 69 and 70. Yeah, great guy, super good guy. Yeah, all them old Arctic boys were just great people.
Just endless stories, I bet, of working in the shops. Yeah. When you were working at Articat, did you ever think about making your own thing with crankshafts? Like, was that ever in the back of your head?
No, not till things started to go sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to find something else to do here.
Yeah. Well, we had to. Yeah. But it worked out well.
When you started Northern Crankshaft, like how many employees did you have at the very beginning?
It was just me and Neil.
Just two guys.
Yep.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
And what we did was we sent out cards to all the dealers. We had a complete dealer listing, so we sent cards out saying what we were doing. And then we worked side jobs. Neil was still farming, and then I took on construction work through the summer, and then I worked the winters. We worked on crankshafts all winter. And then
very cool.
After a couple of years, we had so much work, we had to just give the other work up and just concentrate on crankshafts.
That's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Where it was,
you bet. It
was starting to run itself.
Yep. Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty damn cool.
And of course, we knew a lot of the dealers too, is because we had been on the road with, so that worked out well.
Yeah, you already had like a reputation.
Yeah, we had a good connection.
Yeah, that's nice.
And are you guys in the original building still, or did you move?
No, we built that in 97.
Oh, okay.
And then Eric and they added on when they bought it, which it needed to be added on because we had outgrown it. And I think we could almost add on again. It's other than the cost, we got to. But that's up to them guys. But yeah,
sounds like you got to add on, Eric.
We're full.
Add on.
Yeah, it's always a dream to go up to your guys' shop up there. and just look at all the stuff on the shelves. I can just stand there and look at the shit on the shelves, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
You don't come up often enough, Kyle.
I know. I'm busy in the body shop, man.
But yeah, with Eric, a multi-time Eagle River champion. Yeah, so that's you got quite a few.
When did the race scene kind of start for you, John?
You mean, well, I raced a little bit I had a couple 72 AXTs, and then I got married, so that put an end to the racing somewhat. and then, then Eric, he just had a love for anything that went fast right from the get-go. And so as he went through high school, he started racing a little bit with snowmobiles and motorcycles, a lot of motorcycles, many years on the dirt bikes. And then, it just, it just keeps going. You know?
Yeah.
I know his mother did not like it, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And Eric loved it. So
kind of a good way to get into racing if you got an engine shop. So.
Yeah. He did a good job.
Huh? But your racing career there was short-lived, John.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it
okay.
was. Yeah.
Would you have wanted to kept going?
Oh yeah.
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 I would have. I just had fun. I wouldn't have been as good a racer as Eric, but I would have had fun. Yeah.
Oh man.
But you didn't have any intentions of going pro and doing that. You're just doing just for fun. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah, that's how. Even me jumping on that old 440 the last few years, and then that ZRT last year, it's just fun again. Like for the pro side of stuff, there's a lot of time and a lot of work and a lot of money that goes into it. So like the fun isn't quite as there. The fun is when you're winning.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes into it to where there's a lot behind it. But like to jump on that old ZRT or the 440, it's like, man, this is fun again.
Yeah.
My fun is, building the machine, say it's an old machine, finding all the cool old parts, like a lot of them you guys have. So just piecing together stuff, I guess, and then finally making something out of pretty much nothing. That's the fun for doing the racing that I used to do anyways. So, even like the ZRT stuff. That's fun.
The build?
Yeah, the build is fun.
Yep.
Yeah. And I haven't even ridden the thing yet.
You guys better put our tracks on those things. Scooting across that lake.
Yeah, hacksaw tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be dangerous.
Well,
I think the 1-inch hacksaw should hold up. I mean, that's what they got in the.
I'm not worried about that. It's the guy that took it from 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody that found a 20-year-old Sioux sled.
And they got
go
a
out there.
0.8 track on it or whatever, or half-inch
Just
track.
put a track regulation on it just for safety so somebody doesn't get hurt.
That's the
all.
biggest thing.
Well, I think Chad said that for the 440 class the first year.
Yeah,
that
they have to have a good track. Yeah.
If we notice you have a track that's rotten, we won't let you race.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
So,
yeah.
And it's the same speculation, I believe, for the triple stuff anyways.
Oh,
but
it should be.
Anybody building them, I don't think, would go to that measure to just bring something dry rotted.
No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of money being put into this.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. I've been in touch with him. He knows. Yeah.
I'm sure have you ever had anybody else come in touch with you for triples?
Several.
Yeah, really?
Several.
Oh, wow.
I'm not allowed to speak about that,
NDAs.
That's fine. I'm going to win, so they can do whatever they want.
On the neutral party, I do as a customer asks.
Yep. Yeah, you're on everybody's team.
I want you all to win.
Yep.
Oh, man.
No, we're looking forward to that.
Oh, that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
That'll be the second time of the year my wife comes up north.
Oh, really?
Yep. She comes up for deer season and Pine Lake.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's it. Otherwise, I don't see her the rest of the year.
I know we just talked about that the last week or 2 weeks ago on how a lot of northerners up here have like distribution pipeline jobs in the cities, And so they travel to the cities for work and come home on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
But you do it different where you're coming up. Yeah, you're opposite. You're coming up here to work and going home to the cities.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Eric, when did you just start racing bikes first and then sleds, or was it sleds and then bikes? What?
No, I raced a kitty cat when I was 4. Was it 4? 4 years old.
Okay.
And then I played hockey and
Oh,
sports, you know, and that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I really wanted to race. Like, I mean, like I didn't want to play. Honestly, I didn't want to play team sports anymore. And
Yeah.
played them through high school. Did my, you know, and like there was a couple colleges like at that time they were probably like tech schools or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I was no D1 player by any means. And I was like, Coach, no, I'm done. I just want to race snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I had an agreement with my head coach that he would let me. I could go qualify in the morning because we weren't supposed to ride snowmobiles the day of a game. He would let me go qualify,
Yeah.
go to the game, and then the next day run the
Race.
He was a great coach.
Yeah.
Great coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it was like you were benched if you were a snowmobile.
Really?
But I made an agreement with him
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
was like, hey, I'm doing this. Like, and here's how this works. That was back when Saturday was qualifying, Sunday was finals.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Dad and I would go qualify and
Yeah.
play hockey that night and go race Sunday.
I can't imagine how busy you were, John.
I didn't make it easy on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So was it all just oval stuff right away?
No, we mainly raced cross country.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was a big thing. That was back in the ice hockey days, you know.
Yeah.
And Dad had bought a sled for a guy. He actually bought a Polaris for a Polaris racer one year, and we raced that. And then we went back on cats, and you know, obviously been with them ever since, you know. But yeah, it was cross country until 2001. Cross country ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just stopped. So we're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go race snowcross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great idea and a million broken bones later, but
Yeah.
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 And I will say I should have listened to my father on that one. He's like, I'll buy you a champ sled. Let's go race ovals. I was like, no, we got to go snowcross.
How long did you race snowcross then?
Made 2 seasons and almost lost a leg, a lot of metal in my body.
Wow.
And I wish I would have went racing ovals.
Yeah.
We do. So then, 10, 15 years later, then I go back racing ovals.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was one of those things where like looking back and I'm like, I should have listened to Dad on that.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
How long was your cross country like stint? Like,
Oh, that was like 90. So you bought that 96, but we dabbled a little bit then, got pretty heavy into it in about 98, was it?
Well, 97.
97, 98?
And then 98 was,
Then we were full-fledged.
and we went right through 2001. Yeah.
And then, we got like, was it second or third in the Ironman 250? That was a big race at the time. Got second in the I-500. That was in the semi-pro class. Full disclosure.
Yeah. Hey, it's still the semi-pro class. That's still an accomplishment. That's awesome.
And yeah, then 01 went in the pro class, and then it was just gone. It just stopped.
Yeah.
And it was like, what do we do?
because I looked through some results. I got one result here.
Oh, boy.
That I could find the 01 I-500. Eric Rouland, 7th place. In the
Overall?
I-5. Yeah.
No
That was
way.
the pro class.
Yeah.
In the pro.
So I
Seventh?
thought that, I didn't know you were that, I didn't know how long of a cross-country career you had. And then to see you got 7th in I-500, I thought that was pretty damn good.
You know, I buckled that chassis on the first day. The sled was completely destroyed on the first day.
Really?
How'd that happen? Hit a...
I was cutting up a ditch. Some guys had wiped the markers out. I mean, imagine that, right?
Yeah.
And I seen them up on top of the county road, and I'm like, oh boy, I gotta start cutting up. So I start cutting up the ditch, and it was one of those big county, like not circle culverts.
Oh, sure.
Like
the box
Yeah.
culvert.
yes, concrete. And I'm like, and I just taped it.
Yeah.
Launched it, got right to that edge, buckled the chassis. I mean, I still have the rails.
Really?
They're still at the shop. They're just flat. And came in. It was Stevie Olson, Abe's dad.
Yep.
Him and I were running together. Oh gosh, did we battle? But after that happened, then I was slow, and then Dad and I fixed it. And
Yeah, I want to say Steve finished right close to you.
that wasn't bad. 7th, and we were slow after that day.
Yeah, because that was the day. That was the year. I think Brian was in the lead,
Yep,
and he broke
burnt it
down.
down.
And then Troy Tagger won.
Yeah.
I remember when Brian burned down. I passed him on the highway
Oh, really?
when his sled was going down. I remember that.
Is that must have been when he jumped in the truck with Roger, and then Roger told that story that he sat there in the truck and just said he was the nicest kid. But like, yeah, Brian gave full props to Troy winning it because he said him and Todd Wolf and Corey Davison battled out
Yeah.
for the whole rest of it.
Yeah.
And you have Brandon Anderson, Pine Lake winner, Carl Christensen, Jeremy Skolquist. Is that the Skolquist that runs that snowcross team right now?
Is that? It could be.
I don't know. And then Eric Rowland, Steve Olson, Jason Schill, and Carter Deason, top 10.
Decent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, Stevie, he won the Sioux many times with Corey.
Yep. Yeah, it was 3 years in a row there, like 98, 99, 2000.
Yeah.
So that was like, so I was happy I found one result at least because it was, that's the thing we've talked about it so many times.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like the late 90s, early 2000s, it's impossible to find any results unless somebody has a picture of old printout.
Pre-social media.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was.
Well, it's even try finding results from the 2012, 2013 USXE season. That's impossible to find as well. So
Which
it's
is too bad.
Yeah.
Really.
It's where like at least with the AMA for like dirt bike racing, they have like a vault of information on the computer where you can pretty much go back and look every race up and everything. So it's like we missed out.
We could patent that. Shop Talk. We'll just put all these old race
like
results
that.
on there.
We could
And then
start archiving.
Yeah, archive.
Well, I remember racing your dad back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, in the late 90s.
Yep.
I mean,
Fan
I remember-
class?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I actually
Glenn, he was always a threat.
Yeah?
Oh, man.
Do you? So, a friend of mine that works at the shop, he drives truck. I was talking with him, and he said he used to race against you back in the day. Do you remember Scott Nesvold? Scott Nesvold from Boston.
Maybe.
He watches the show anyways. He'll like this. But, yeah,
Hi, Scott. How you doing?
he was pretty good back in the day. Yeah. But
If I seen him, I'd probably recognize him.
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
sure.
Very recognizable. But yeah, we were, that's pretty much how my week goes. I wait to talk to Scott, and then we talk about Solo Wheels for a little while, and then
So you pretty much do nothing at work.
yeah, you can ask John. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm just the guy that just walks around.
Oh, and then last week we just had Josh Davis in here.
You had Josh in here?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Yep, last week. But that reminds me. Last week with Josh in here. Yeah, thanks to Josh for that. That was really good.
Yeah, of course.
We forgot to say our Woody's plug.
Totally, yeah. We forgot again.
For 2 weeks in a row here now. So use Shop Talk 10 to save yourself 10% off and free shipping at Woody's Traction. So,
Sorry about that.
So, yeah, I forgot to say that last week.
Also, I forgot to give a guy I met at the bar a shout out. I told him he was a fan of the show. Brock, tweet. I forgot to do it last week.
Tweet?
Brock. His name is Brock anyway.
I was going to say if it was tweet, there was tweets up at ArtyCat.
I believe it's tweet. I put his name in my phone. I could probably look. Anyway, I'm like the PR guy for the Shop Talk. I'm the only one that goes out to the bars anymore, and people
At the bars.
Yeah, and so I'm like the Shop Talk.
Yeah.
Public.
Do you know I have a podcast?
I'm the man of the people in this
Yeah.
ivory tower of a podcast. But yeah, tweet. Brock tweet. Yep.
Huh. Wonder if he's related to Jeff tweet.
I don't know. Nice guy. Super cool. Fan of the show. Forgot to give him a shout out or remember now.
But no, yeah, it was fun having Josh in here because then once we finished and everything, then he had like 3 or 4 more really good stories when we were just standing around BSing afterwards, like of him and Gabe Bunky going out to the Sioux, parked right in the middle of the road in a snowstorm, looking out both windows to hitting off rumble strips off each side and everything. I've been lucky enough going out to the Sioux. I've never hit a snowstorm going out there.
Really?
No.
Oh man,
it's terrible. Really?
Oh, they're terrible.
Because it's just that lake effect snow where it's just unreal.
Yeah.
No, I've gotten really lucky with when I've been out there.
And last year when me and Dad went, there was no snow.
No snow at all.
For the first time going out there, I know I've talked about this before, but having no snow for my first time going out to Michigan, super weird, unique scenario for me.
And for how many times you guys have gone out there, have you ever seen it like that?
No. Well, we haven't total whiteout that one time. No, lean on snow, he's saying. A little bit, Well, there's been times, but it's been, last year was all by itself.
Get a little closer.
Last year was just brutal.
We
needed snow.
Brody's a tech man.
Yeah, you can pull that thing a little closer if you, just.
But yeah, it was unreal just driving through all those little towns that are like just snowmobile towns. And usually there's hundreds of enclosed trailers parked at those hotels.
Yeah.
There's not a single one last year.
Yeah, it was hard on the industry.
Yep.
Big time.
And then that's like, people are giving Arctic Cat such a hard time right now too, but Polaris has also had layoffs and Skidoo's also had layoffs. And so it's tough.
Yeah, like if we have another winter like that, I'm pretty sure every company is going to look like Arctic Cat's, like similar to what Arctic Cat's doing right now. Like, hopefully that's not the case, but everyone's hurting.
Yeah. We need Jags.
We need Jags. Everybody come out with a Jag. Affordable. I just seen a stat. It was the sales in '97 or whatever. Did you see this?
By the
CC displacement.
CCs. Yeah, Super Sled Online posted that.
Yeah. What was it? 490 cc and under. The sales were like 80%
Yep.
And then 500 cc was like 20 something. 600 was like 15, and 800.
700 and above.
700 and above was like 3%
of the industry.
of models sold that year. I was like, we need a Jag.
Yeah.
Big time.
Jags are fun.
Yeah, Jags are fun.
I mean, the Snow Pro 500 from 2010 to 2015 was an ideal sled.
Everybody had one.
Everybody buys them.
Yeah.
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 You need a cheap.
And they just work.
Yep.
They just work.
Yep. Put 87 octane in those and just go.
Yeah.
Go.
You need a cheap sled that's, nothing fancy. You could put Zero Pro Fox shocks around it, and I would
That's what
love
it came with.
I would love it.
Zero Pros.
Yeah, and it was the best sled ever.
Yep. Yeah, those were nice sleds.
Yeah.
To cause some controversy, what's the number one crankshaft you see come through the shop?
Yeah. Tell me it's an XLT.
It's made by that manufacturer.
Really? Is it a 800?
I'm going to generalize this if that's okay.
No, we want an exact answer.
It's an 800 big block Liberty.
800 EFI Polaris.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the reason why. They made more of those things than anybody else made anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with them. They're great. They're great engines.
What's the most common issue you see when it comes to you?
Rod failure or a PTO bearing failure.
Oh, really?
Just common things. I mean, the Rotax has their issues though with the Isoflex grease. I don't feel that was a good move to do.
Because are they a sealed bearing?
Well, they're sealed on the mag and PTO side of the crankcase. Which, go ahead, Dad.
No, I was just going to say the biggest reason behind that was emissions. Mm-hmm. If you could isolate lubricating the bearings, you don't need to run near as much oil.
Sure.
So you clean it up. And actually, it was smart on their part because they got ahead in the emission game. Right. And, they had the cleanest motor for many years. And I don't know where this stuff is standing now, but
It's unreal on how much power the EPA has over the snowmobile industry and the power sports industry in a whole.
Right, and the snowmobiles are such a small portion of this thing. They shouldn't even be talked about.
Yep.
Really, and everything would be so much simpler and so much better for the consumer and the factories if they left them alone. But that ain't going to happen.
I mean, you can still go buy a Yamaha YZ250 and it will smoke to beat hell. You can run it as rich as you want. It'll just smoke. It's like, why are they picking on the snowmobiles so much here?
I have no idea. It doesn't make sense.
Huh.
I thought I'd heard a thing back in the day. It was like a national deal. So if you produce a vehicle, it already has an amount of miles that it'll get put on it. So like they're comparing a snowmobile to a car. So that's how the emissions stuff
I see.
works. So
Sure.
you put 100,000 miles on a car, you're not going to put 100,000 miles on a snowmobile.
No.
So
No, there's been a couple Yamahas that have,
Yeah.
but they're 4-strokes. So,
That is true.
yeah. But
They
no.
make 100,000 miles?
Yeah. Yeah, there's been like
100,000 miles?
Yeah, there's been a couple Yamaha like Vectors and Apexes with 100,000 on them.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't doubt it, but
There's one guy he
pretty
died.
much any Indy 500, has got 100,000
or a Jag,
or a Jag.
Jag.
Yeah.
you know.
But no, there's one guy who like documented his whole lifespan of that sled of like he went through like 7 tracks and like he documented everything to put 100,000 miles
That's
on.
impressive.
Huh.
Good for him.
So I wish I'd remember it.
I wish I knew where he was from to ride that much.
I want to say it was Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not from here.
Yeah. You got a 40-mile radius to ride here.
Well, yeah, you can put a lot of miles on, but it's just,
I've heard of guys running all the way out to Michigan, riding up there, and then riding back here.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never
I thought Chad Leon just did it.
that far of a jaunt.
Maybe he went to just Duluth and back, but I forget.
We made a pretty good trek from here to like Bemidji to Washkish to Fort Town to Goodridge and home.
Yeah.
Did a loop in a day?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a pretty good.
Yeah.
I think 300-mile loop. So
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was,
yeah. That's a haul.
Yep. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of snow that year though too. So it was fun to hit a lot of fire roads up there by the Washkish area and everything.
Yep.
But not last year.
No.
No riding last year.
No.
No, I still got like 4,000 miles on last year.
Well, yeah, but that's
On the
different.
ice.
Yeah, on the ice.
You were on that ice a lot.
On the ice and enough snow in the ditch to like just putts down to Pine Lake and back.
Get there.
Like that's about all me and Dad did was just like you're hitting ruts and chop and it's like, well, we're at least just going to Pine Lake.
Yeah.
Right.
Turning around.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going too far.
Oh.
Yeah, anytime Murph and I were on the ice down there, you were down there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I live down there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll even send Snapchats to the guys like during the summer when we're out there on the boat or something. It's like I can't get enough of this lake.
It's a good lake.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've made jokes when I'm out there, when me and my wife are out there kayaking and everything, like we'll be going out in the back bay around cattail patches and everything, and I'll be explaining her lines while we're out there on the kayak. So you got to hold it really tight to this cattail patch right here.
Yeah.
It is cool being back there on the boat or on the kayaks and seeing the cattails that you race around.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
goddamn, like,
You wouldn't
this is
believe
froze.
like, where we come out of the cattails and start heading back towards shore right there. It's only like 2 feet deep right there.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yep. So it's a fun lake. It's not frozen yet, but hopefully sooner than later.
Hopefully soon. I hope so.
Because I would say, I mean, it's already the middle of November now, but you got Pine Lake's.
20-some days away. 29 days away.
Yeah. So I'd say it's push back to the end of December at least.
Yeah. That'd be the smart.
That first core race is down in Brainerd, I think. And that's a big lake. So you got to think that one's going to be pushed back as
Right.
well. Because that's a big lake. The only reason Pine Lake ever freezes fast is because it's so shallow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think the deepest spot is 20-some feet deep.
Not
No,
even
Pine
that.
Lake?
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's only like 12.
12,
Really?
13. Yeah.
Right? If you walk straight out to the cattails right from shore, right to the cattail line. There's like just one little band right in there where it's like 12 feet deep.
Huh.
Other than that, everything else in that whole lake is 6, 7.
Yeah.
So it's
Shallow.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's why it's such a popular lake too. Is that
for sure.
You can walk out from shore 150, 200 yards, and it's only waist deep.
Yeah.
So
Did you do Pine Lake a lot back in the day?
Yeah, that was a big deal back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Fan stuff?
Fan and liquid.
Okay.
Yeah. I cartwheeled out there one year.
It happens.
it happens.
It happens.
I was there this year.
Yeah.
No, it was glare ice. We were just testing, and he had me on the radar going into the wind. I was hitting 104 and hit a little snowdrift. The wind hooked me.
Wow.
Brand new sled. Just motors laying out of the chassis.
Oh my God.
No.
All gone.
Oh
I
no.
was cartwheeling. I'm like, what in the world happened? Oh man.
You got bucked so hard and so high up in the air, the wind just
It was just a
Gotcha.
little, it was just a little finger drift, and it just brought me up.
and just
Wind.
like a sail.
Yeah.
Really? God damn
And
it.
I was crawling over the top of it as much as I could, you know.
You can't do
That point, I
anything.
can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And the thing slammed me into the ice, and I'm like, oh shit.
Just sliding across the ice, watching your sled just go.
I'm just watching, and I'm like, I didn't have a chest protector, nothing. We were just testing. I had nothing on, just snow pants and a jacket,
Yeah.
and a helmet. And yeah, go back. Oh, I got to build another one. Oh, I got to race in a week.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was. I remember in 01. I don't know if they still run it, but that back section, it'd be. Let me get my bearings straight here. The south side of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
There was a huge sweeper, and Corey Davidson was in front of me, and I was coming, and I came in really hot. It was a long sweeper, and I just touched him. Didn't tag him. I touched him. Whew. And I remember looking, I'm laying down. We all know I'm laying down, like looking over this. I'm like, holy crap. Holy crap. That's not good. He was just, shh.
Yeah.
And then I went by, and afterwards I'm like, he's up. I'm like, Corey, you okay? Sorry. Not me to do that. He's like, I know you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he stay flat or did he high side?
It's Corey. He kept her on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was, but I didn't intentionally. You don't want to do that to anybody. It was nothing intentional, and he knew that. But I was like, holy crap, you're one hell of a driver to say that. Wow.
I had
was
that
impressive.
one time at Nadawash when they were doing that like semi-pro versus pro race at one time.
Yeah.
And I was so pumped up. My arms were pumped up and everything.
No way, really?
That I had the whole fleet of like semi-pro guys just right on my ass. And I actually got hit right in the corner at one time. And I had the biggest sway bar they could make in that nitro to where somebody hit me in the rear and spun me around, and I'm hanging off the right-hand side. And actually kept it flat, and I got spun all the way around to where I'm looking at oncoming traffic.
No.
And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it spun all the way around on me like that through like a sweeper and like looking at oncoming traffic. And then I actually had somebody like hit me with their spindle right on my arm to where I actually fell off. And it was like, that was a close call.
Yeah.
So it's unreal what you can make a sled do when you hit it at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
wrong.
You made it out though.
Yeah.
You were okay.
Yeah, I was okay with that one. And it was so dumb too. You're out there for just a fun race kind of pro
Right,
versus semi-pro
right.
race
Right.
on that old heavy nitro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking tank of a machine.
Was it Grover that hit you?
Nope.
I would have been on LT Gray back in them days. So
Yeah.
I don't think there was any competing back then. Yeah.
So what made you get from like, were you excited to go into ovals? Or were we going from snowcross to ovals where you're like, I'll try anything other than snowcross?
Well, no, like I raced ovals, like, we'd go to Strathcona and stuff,
Yep.
like growing up and,
Yep.
and then after I got hurt a bunch and got married, did that whole thing, that didn't really work out. So then a guy offered me to come race for him, vintage.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Well, you went through a stint of mountain sleds. You know, you were riding
Well, yeah, we built a lot of mountain sleds and stuff for a number of years, and turbos, and we had a lot of fun with that stuff too. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Then the 50th, Arctic 50th, I got asked to race the Sioux.
Oh.
And so went out for that with Jeff Johnson and Mel Winnie and those guys, and kind of fell in love with that. I mean, it was like, all right, let's go. And then,
So that would have been like 2012.
yeah.
Was that your first year going out there then? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Is that 2012? Yeah, it was 2012. Yeah. Firecat. We had a Firecat, single pipe Firecat.
Really?
Yeah, stock. That's serious. But it worked. We qualified.
Huh.
Me and Isaac Wolfgang. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
sweet.
can't believe you hadn't gone out there
That's pretty sweet.
prior to that.
No, I never.
You ever go and watch it? Like that was your first time ever going there?
I'd never been there in my life.
Really?
Yeah. And up to that point, I had raced some sprints, like Eagle River and stuff like that. But like, I've never been to something like that. Like,
Were you going out to the Sioux prior to that, John? No, never been there either. Oh, really? Oh, wow. I can't believe. I would thought for sure you guys would have been out there in like the early mid 2000s.
no,
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you knew the race. You knew what the Sioux was. You just never, yeah.
Sioux
Wow.
is like iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like its own thing.
chasing that race, something awful with their 600 ZRT, and so we were building cranks, trying to get them to hang together, and yeah. Hey, we did a lot of Polaris cranks too.
It's right in there, right on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say the Polaris XLT is the most winning motor at the Sioux. XCR. Yeah, XCR.
The XL, it worked very well. Yeah. Yep.
They proved me wrong there.
No, it did. It's yep. No, it was a good little package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
which is it's crazy to me to think that just like a piston port engine, no reed valves, nothing.
Right? Very
They get that
simple
thing
and
to work.
Just keep, yeah.
Huh.
Yep. And of course, the cylinder was a mono, so it was rigid enough to, the motor quit. It didn't flex much,
Yeah.
which was a good thing.
Yeah,
And it just kept very reliable.
yeah. Paired with a good chassis. I mean,
Yeah. The Indy chassis was amazing.
yeah.
But they were the ones, like Polaris there for many years there, they were the ones putting the most effort into it. Because like we had asked.
Arctic, we talked about this. Arctic didn't really start going until probably about 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah. They started and like with the 600s, God, they just brought, I don't know how many crankshafts out we did for them. And we pinned the centers, we welded them, we've chiroed them for them, and just built. And they had a couple failures on the motors that were just small things, but it took them out.
Yeah.
Just,
Cairo, is that where you freeze the block?
yeah.
Like explain that a little bit.
Well, it stabilizes the molecules in the steel.
Yeah.
And so that you don't get the stressing, and it works. It was really a big thing for many years, but it's kind of went by the wayside now. There's still people that do it and believe in it, but it does really change it, because like if you weld something that's been chiroed or something, it just welds beautiful.
Really? It's like froze down to like 400,
200
below
below,
zero.
yeah.
Did you know about that stuff, Brody?
No, but I do know about freezing like bearings and stuff.
Make John get up.
I do know about that, freezing bearings and like pounding them in when they're cold or like hot.
No,
that's the only freezing I know. I'd never they freeze the whole block of the.
We just did the crankshafts.
Okay.
Sent them off, and we'd disassemble them, send all the parts in, and we'd reassemble them. And, yeah, we did. Other drag racers were doing it. You know, it was yeah. And like the guys that the bench rest shooters. Now we're going on a different subject. Of course, rifle barrels. And that was a big thing, and kind of still is. You know, they say everything works better when they're more accurate and more stable. So.
I wonder if freezing it sucked them contaminants out of the aluminum or something like that.
I don't know what it does to aluminum. I just follow the steel part of it. You know, guys send their pistons in and get it done. You know, if it was just, I don't want to badmouth it, but I mean, if it was so great, you know, these factories would be all over it.
Yeah.
You know, anything that would work that well, they just eat it up, and they didn't. So it was kind of like a miracle in an ice box, you might say.
That's really neat stuff.
Yeah.
No, we don't hear that stuff every day. Yeah.
I'd heard about somebody doing it at the Sioux in like 2014, where like they froze the block. Like supposedly the block itself like down to 200 degrees, and it strengthens it. It's like never heard of anything like that before.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. There again, I think if it was that great, you know, you can't imagine, you know, like all the automobile engines and stuff that are aluminum now.
Yeah.
You know, these factories would be all over it.
Yeah.
Anything this competition would be. Now, maybe, you know, that would be something to look into, like the drag racers and stuff. Are they still chiroing their parts, you know?
Right.
But
Just running a motor block through the freezers, like once, like just have them on an assembly line through a freezer or something.
yeah, it could be done very easily.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're saying before I go work on a car at the shop, I got to set it outside and get it cold as hell, and then start working on it.
It does something to it, because like when you weld something that's been chiroed, it's just like it wants to be welded.
Really?
It just flows together like, I mean, it makes the welding just really nice.
Wow.
That's cool. Yeah, I wonder if different like industries do that, like dirt bike racing or crotch rocket racing, Formula One. I wonder if they chiro a bunch of stuff. Maybe. Yeah, that's something to look into. Honestly. Yeah.
Well, I think, you know, like, I think there'd be more of it. Like, how many of the teams that you know that race at the Sioux, you don't even hear them talk about it anymore. No. And back in like say in the 96, 95, 96, I mean, we were sending 6, 7, 10 cranks. You know, we'd tear them apart and send them in for race teams, you know, and chiro them and then put them together. And it didn't take them out in front, that's for sure.
What about every time I go in the shop, there's usually a King Cat engine sitting in there, big 4-cylinder.
Oh yeah.
Big 4-cylinder free air engine. You know, 71 King Cat was a big race sled back in the day for Arctic Cat. But they're, you know, a needle in a haystack. You know, they didn't make very many of them. But every time I go to the Northern Crankshaft, there's always a King Cat engine sitting there.
I got a couple I got to help build now.
It's really neat to see, because the crankcase is about, it's long. It's really long. There's 4 cylinders, you know.
Hard wide.
It's about 3 feet. Yeah, it's something to see. So how is it working on them things? They're
pretty simple motor.
Yeah.
They were quite a motor in their day. You know, they only, you know, they run bad carburetors on them. They had
Tillotsons, right?
you know, they converted to Tillotsons, and then they went to, but they had some Keons in there that weren't very good. And the problem with like a 4-cylinder, if one side goes lean because of the carburetor or something, you don't feel it. The other 3 cylinders just drag it until those things really come apart.
Did you work on the one that's still racing today? I forget the guy who does does the Eagle World Championship.
I won on that sled. I raced for him.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
I had lots of discussions with him while he was building it.
Yeah.
You designed the crank for him.
Yeah.
That's in it.
Huh. Really?
We'll tell that story.
Yeah,
You take the mic and tell that story about racing that sled.
That's a viral machine.
Oh,
You know,
racing
like
for
the
Keith
videos
Bedour?
everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Keith. He's great. Him and his wife, Luann. Yeah, those are the ones who got me into vintage ice oval racing.
Okay.
He asked me to come race for him, and I showed up at Eagle River, and oh, man.
What year is this?
Okay, let me think here for a quick second. I stopped in 2002. What was that, about 2010? 2010? 2010-ish?
At Eagle River?
No, it was after that. Well, regardless. And I was on a 300 mod stock, like just this old El Tigre. And like, I had never raced Eagle River, and I was like, oh, this is like a dream come true. I've always wanted to go here. And sure as enough, last lap, leader coming out of 4.
We're good.
Spreads out wide, and I got a lapper and second place. I got number 1, number 2, and a lapper. These two are splitting, and I just shot the gap and passed them both and got an eagle.
Was that on the King Cat?
No, that was on a mod stock 400. And then I think the next year I won on the King Cat. That thing is such a handful to ride. Oh my gosh,
It's super wide.
it is scary.
Yeah.
It is scary. It doesn't turn
At
all.
It's pretty much unlimited horsepower with no sway bar.
And I remember
Leaf springs.
trying to tell Keith, I'm like, Keith, let's get this so we can drift it in the corner a little bit. He's like, I don't think that's a good idea. And he's probably right. And I'm not going to disagree with him. It's probably not a good idea because it's just like, it's like a crotch rocket.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the thing dyno is like 160 horse.
Really?
Damn.
It doesn't weigh 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And you grab it, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's
With a chassis that's a square. It's
just this old 72 EXT chassis.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's no modifications to the chassis. The thing just, when you grab it, it just twists. You
Yeah.
can just feel it. It's just like, oh, it is fun. It's something else. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I won a couple times with that thing, and then I never rode it again. I mean, not that I wouldn't, but
Yeah. It's so
yeah,
cool.
he still does a great job with it,
Yeah.
though. I mean,
you can watch the video and just look up, 71 King Cat at
Oh,
Eagle
yeah.
River. It is so fun to watch
Yeah,
because it's just a rocket down the straight. They'll come into a corner and it just dozes and farts around, and then you go down the straight and it's just wow.
it's like a Lamborghini on the straights and a school bus in the corner.
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
I can't believe it would be that snappy on the straights. You'd almost think like something that big, it'd be like really torquey and just like low. But it's,
Well, it is, but the ground speed goes from 0 to whatever it goes so fast.
sure.
It's just like,
I'll take that.
Oh, just put that on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just it's something else.
Huh.
You want to take it for a ride? I'll line this up. I will arrange it.
You got to race.
I am good friends with the owner of this snowmobile.
Vintage
I will
weekend at
arrange
Eagle
this.
River on
Yeah.
a King Cat.
Vintage weekend.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
That'd be
only
cool
on a
as hell.
King Cat. You can't do it on anything else.
Oh, you can
just
race
gotta,
with a Supermod too,
yeah.
but I don't have to.
Yeah. So you got a Supermod 440 that's badass for vintage weekend.
Yeah.
It's a 72 EXT.
No, that's a 79 Snow Pro. Well, it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
hand built.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing actually
Yeah.
from Arctic Cat on it except for the
Yeah.
crankcase.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
79 Snow Pro with a 440 free air
yeah,
and his Hooper belt engine.
nope. That's Greg Atkinson trackside
Okay.
built that motor.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty wicked.
The Supermod, that's the vintage weekend premier class, the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And years prior, I've heard you guys had trouble with keeping cylinders together in one piece.
Well, they do sometimes come apart.
They split in two.
The cylinder?
The cylinder split in
They
two.
break in half.
Really?
Holy
They
crap.
they shoot the top of it off of it.
Yeah, they come apart in a lot of different pieces.
A crankcase that was designed for 50 horse.
Yeah.
And then you make it thinner to put the stroker crank in it,
Yep.
basically. And
Not a stroke crank.
Yeah.
extended crank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it just you got to really tie it down. Otherwise, them motors flex so much. It's unbelievable.
Well, they look like they would. They're just, free air engine. So
Yeah.
there's
And that
no
was-
case reeds or anything to stiffen it up. It's all just thin aluminum.
Yeah.
That's where, like when we were talking earlier about the triples, the XLT, you got a mono cylinder. It just stiffens that motor.
Keeps it
something.
rigid, yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
And the 600, like the Zert, you got everything moving, and it shows between the crank and stuff over time. Like at the Sioux, the motor had all the horsepower, it had all the potential, it had everything going for it other than over lap after lap after lap. You'd get breaking some cylinder base studs or shit like that going on, and it just, yeah.
So, like, should we weld our ZRT cylinders together?
Well, you're not running the Sioux, though.
No.
No.
If for what you're doing, you're probably just fine.
Sure.
But if you were going to do that enduro stuff with one of them, it should be tied together with a plate on top
Really?
going down. Yeah.
Torque plate on top of the head and then suck
Go,
it down to the
go
crank.
right to the motor plate.
Yeah.
Put some kind of a base plate on it, because the cylinders were breaking studs off, and that's why me and you were talking here one day about, when they went with the second generation case and the exhaust valves, they run the studs in deeper, and then they increased the boss just a little bit, and then they went to 2 more head bolts in the heads, and they were on the right track,
Sure.
but they should have went to 10 millimeter studs on the base of the cylinders, and things would have been better.
Thickened up where the cylinder,
Yeah.
flange.
Yep.
That should have been
Absolutely, yep.
another 200 thousandths.
And a mono head would have been really good, but otherwise that was a terrific motor.
Yeah.
Just a freaking buzzsaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are nuts going to plan like this.
That's what me and
I admire all of you guys. I can't wait.
my brother and I were just talking. I think so many people are underestimating this class that we're building sleds for. I think it'll probably be the fastest class of the weekend.
Could.
There'll be nothing faster on ice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
I mean,
Dialed.
You
It's
roll those ZRs, those little chassis on the ice.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Around a corner better.
Oh, yeah. Those for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
and then plus the mile an hour on top of that with a 600 triple. I think it's going to be the fastest class of the weekend.
It's going to be great.
I just hope we can get ours to be talking. I just hope we can get ours to last. Like, if we can get it to run a good mile an hour, that's going to be consistent and we're not going to be on the edge.
What did you put stock bikes back on it?
Yeah, so with the motor stuff we did, we want to try that first just to see what our stock baseline
Yeah.
is. So
And
we put
then-
the stock pipes, stock exhaust on just to get a baseline of that, and then go Black Magic pipes and
Yeah.
our stingers. So just so we can kind of compare a little
Yeah.
bit. Just because we even want to just compare what we did to the motor just from last year to this year.
Yeah.
Right.
With what we changed in the motor. So it was really interesting talking to you guys about motor stuff when we were up there at Northern Crank. Of the 01 pistons are impossible to find.
Right. Yes.
And you guys were talking about changing rods and everything to where we could run a 96 piston, and that's pretty in depth. I didn't think we didn't want to go that far in depth.
if you had a lot of races to run, that would be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we actually, I don't know if we had found those pistons when we were up there talking to you guys or not, but I put a feeler out on Facebook that we were looking for pistons on the Artie Cat page, and this guy said, "Yeah, I have three brand new ones in the box." I was like, you got to send me the part numbers so I know we're talking about the same ones." And they were, and I was like, "Awesome, yep. Where are you located?" And he said, "Plumber."
Nice. What a find, yeah.
So I said, "No way, my dad will be up there in a half hour to get them." So, I think $100 piston. So it's $300 for.
That's super cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Well, for what? Well, I think Country Cat. Well, they're no longer available. But like the Country Cat price on them is only $96 a piston. But but they're not available at all. Sure. But so no. So Dad wasn't too mad about that. So yeah, we got new pistons in there. So we'll just run her rich for the first couple of runs just to make sure. And because I can't remember who told us. We were talking about our old 440 and the jetting on that thing. And we were like, yeah, we run them rich and we'll find the edge slowly. But then somebody said, well, Kirk, those guys, they probably blew up 3 times every weekend just because they had the cylinders and the pistons with to where they could find that fine edge. Yeah. And they had the parts and everything to do it. So it's like, oh, that'd make it a lot
easier. Yeah.
Just grab the whole box of parts, leave in the shop, and it's like, yeah, if we burn down, we'll get it fixed in about a half hour. Yep. But it's surprising on our 440 when we are jetted rich, that one's doggy out of the corner, and it lets you know it right away that like, oh, you're a little too rich, and drop one size and it's just perfect then. But even the ZRT running at Nadawash last year where we were rich and it was warm out that day too. It's no bog at all out of the corners. Which, Kyle, you were talking about something about the round slides to the flat slides, carburetors.
Yeah. You can pretty much use rocks as your jets for flat slides compared to the round slides. I like the flat slides a lot better. With the tuning, anyway.
Drill out a little rock and just kind of...
Yeah, you can use rocks, yeah. It'll take it all day long. It'll take whatever fuel you send to them fucking things, but yeah, little round slides. Round slides are a little more finicky, I guess. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I mean,
or is there?
I agree with that.
I don't know about finicky. I think there's more snap to them. It's faster.
The plat?
Yeah. I think it's faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even with that said, Matt Gady has won how many world championships on a 100-horse 440 supermod with round slide carbs?
Yeah.
No technology on the sled.
Yep.
Now that man, I mean, I am so impressed with him and what he does.
Yeah. I got the chance to actually talk to him at Heydays this year.
Great guy.
Super nice guy.
Him and his brother and his dad, I mean, just great people. But it's like, you look at the sled, it's a beautiful piece. It's like, holy crap. You make that thing go.
Yeah. What's your guys' opinions on like the vintage Eagle River that like it's vintage, but everything is essentially hand-built, brand new stuff?
Yeah, it's
the biggest snowmobile race I've ever been to in my entire life.
The chassis was built in 2012.
Get a little closer. Get a little closer.
I didn't go last year, but I mean, the year prior, I think there was like 750 or 800 entries.
Unreal.
I've never been to a race that has that many.
That's insane.
You know,
holy crap.
And you talk about amazing people. Just great people all over.
That these guys are doing is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like Wall Brothers and they're, they're just
oh yeah.
so trick and beautiful.
But like there's a lot of money being spent on, it's like the vintage side of it is kind of getting pushed farther and farther away to where it's brand new hand-built chassis.
If you want to be in the Supermod class, it is nothing vintage.
Yeah. Which is...
It's all hand-built.
I don't know how to think of that. I don't know.
It's amazing. It's great. It's great. It's to see the creativity and the engineering. It's really fun to see because like they're engineering and creating this stuff in their shops or garages or whatever. It's like, good for you guys. Like, I mean, I think we have a good piece. We put a lot of work and time and effort into it, and I appreciate everybody else's too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that much. No. Like, my wife has no idea what's
gone into that build.
Have you seen Eric's Supermod?
Yeah, when we've been up at the shop there, I seen it that last time we were up there.
It is the most trick thing you ever seen in your life.
It's really sharp looking. I like the scheme of it.
Thank you.
The scheme
Thank
looks
you.
nice.
Now we just got to get the motor to live, and I think we will. I think we got
give
it.
a rat's ass about the scheme. You know, I'm looking at what's done to it. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. So what is the engine? It's basically an engine that's out of like a 72 EXT, right? Is
Nope.
it, or
Nope. It's a 77.
76, 77, 78.
500 Spirit engine?
400.
Well, it was 4,500.
So it was a 4,000. It was a little crap trail motor. So we got this little floppy crankcase. And then we got welded up cylinders. That's why they're breaking. And now I think we got to figure it out. You know, we got billet heads on it. I mean, I got a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Under the hood of that thing.
I never knew that. I thought it was like a T7, Kawasaki engine, but it's actually a Suzuki engine.
Yeah, the Cowie stuff is that doesn't run.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten, like the Polaris has a good foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. They really do. And so does Skidoo. Especially like Sabrina and that guy who won last year. I forget his name, but they did it right. They incorporated the rotary valve airs, which they should have. And they're wicked fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a moto ski that one last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that blend.
Same motor though.
Okay.
And Arctic never had that base platform. We don't have the TX bottom end like I wish we did.
Yeah.
We just don't have that foundation. So for us cat guys, it's been a big struggle.
Yeah, are you guys really the first guys to weld on case reeds and stuff like
No,
that?
we have cylinder reeds.
Okay, cylinder reeds. Yeah.
No, the Polaris guys have been doing that forever.
I know it, but
for
like the cat stuff.
For a cat, well, like us guys coming up, we're the first, like between like I think AJ Lang is possibly the first cat to qualify. I think, and congratulations to him, good friend of mine. But like with him and Derby and Keith Badur, Jeff Watson qualified. I have not qualified yet for the final because we always had motor problems, which is fine. But it's been a struggle. Mm-hmm. I mean, these other guys, they got 10 years on us of R&D. Mm-hmm. And to just come out and you're dealing with all hand-built motors.
Yeah,
right. There's no manufacturing to this. It's like taking something that was made 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take something that was 40 horse and make 110 horse or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, and you want it to live.
Yeah. What about that one that Ryan Spencer has? That one, he had that one going really good at Lincoln when I was down there 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a Hooper motor in that one.
Oh, okay.
That's a Hooper motor.
Yeah.
I had a couple of Hooper motors too.
I can't remember how fast he was going at Lincoln. It was 90 something.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like going the same speed as the enduro sleds.
Yeah.
The Leafers, ironically, are not far off of Champ. It's crazy.
Which is, that's crazy because you think of the chassis on a Leaf spring.
Yeah.
And I will say a lot of that probably has, we're talking like overall lap times of years and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with year conditions of the track.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, hands on. I'm not going to go line up with
No.
Blaine and no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can't believe the similarities between their champs and the new F3s. Because when I was watching, I think it was the first race of the year last year, Beaujeu, where they were the champs were going 99 and the F3s were going 99, 100.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's two totally different chassis to be going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. One an oval chassis and one a snowcross chassis.
Yeah.
Or,
And I told that to Matt Gady at Heydays. I was like, I respect you guys to beat hell driving them F3s. Because I watched him. I was sitting in between one and two at the Eagle River, and I watched him come into one, and I swear that Skidoo jumped like 4 ruts this way and 4 ruts that way.
Right.
Within a split second, where it was just choo, 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 choo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine. It's like,
Just to trust it to be straight.
yeah.
No, yeah. We need to get you on one of those sprint sleds.
No, like maybe like an F500 where it'd be like a little.
No, you can't run the F500 class. No.
Sportsman 600 with your ZRT.
Like a
Okay,
nice
you come to Eagle Vintage Weekend this year. Sportsman.
Sportsman 600.
Yeah, with your Zert.
No, ours isn't set up for champ racing like that.
No, it will be.
It'll be close enough.
I'll help you.
No. Ours is Lake Le Mans one. Because, like, even Austin Leak was giving me hell to try to bring it to the Sioux against his new Formula 3 Skidoo he's building. That's a champ sled. It's like, it's not even a comparison.
You know, I think I should bring my twin 600 out there and run it against Austin. You heard that, Austin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think,
He's coming for
it's a great idea.
He's coming for ALR.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Skidoo ain't shit, so.
I did not say that.
I hope when Austin's done with this build, he prints out like a price per lap. Of what this sled costs him, of how much it costs him to run it per lap.
I get a kick out of it every time we're in the group chat with ALR, and we grab the ski tips on our sleds and move them, and they're all over the place, you know. And the mobile guys, you know, as you move the ski tip, the spindle's moving. Us we're rattling the ski tips.
Just on that F7 we bought for Dad got for Brody. Brody's going to race the F7 in the classics class at Pine Lake this year, and we had it tipped on the one side, and I just wiggled the ski, and Dad's like, "Where's that slop coming from?" It's like right in that spindle bushing, just like a quarter inch either way. It's like it'll be fine for Brody.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's how I like it, honestly.
Yeah,
a lot of slop.
Losing fast.
Yep, losing fast.
Yep.
You know, they really only toe in when you back up is the thing. You're just going to be going forward the whole time.
I'll just be plowing the whole time.
But I did an interesting question. I did just have somebody this week ask me what round bars we run for Ice Le Mans, because they've been just running comp bars on their newer sleds.
I was like, you're going to be fighting it.
I was like, oh my God. It's like, no wonder you hate ice racing.
Yeah.
Is that you've been running comp bars on your new sleds. It's like,
they just don't know.
Turn with a 10-inch round bar.
Yeah. I learned that from Wes Selby. Wes was like, I like to just go down the straightaways one-handed, and like the comp bar or the round bar, you can do that.
Right.
It's like, it's so forgiving to where it's like, I was mind blown. He'd been running comp bars all these years. It's like, you'll enjoy ice racing so much more with a round bar.
Well, like, you know, like, so that was something eye-opening to me. Like, I came off of like, you know, like the late 90s, early 2000s where everything was comp bars.
And you can run comp bars on those old sleds the way that...
Because you're back.
Yep.
There's not as much. And so, like, we're out at the Sioux, and I'm like, well, we need comp bar. and we were running the wrong skis. I'm like, we went to the plastic skis. Remember that? Because we were running aluminum saddled Arctic skis, old ZR skis, which are all rigid with comp bars. I think it was,
not fun.
No, like death. Like death. And we just changed skis and everything got better. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it's so much different. Like two different worlds, like totally. Like, yeah, I agree. I would run total around bars with these new sleds.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
And so I texted him back. I was like, that's a good podcast question.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Yeah. Well, me and Brady Deerdahl. So Brady came over and picked up one of my 2020 to redesign the Sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a couple years since I raced that thing, because last time I raced it in the ditch at Park Rapids, and it had a fresh set of 10-inch round bars for the ditch. And I popped the carbides out of it, and the fronts are totally flat, like all the way to the spindle. That's how much the front of it is. That's how much ski pressure is on it, on front
In front of the spindle.
Yeah, the front
Really?
of the carbide in front of the spindle
Wow.
is the metal is flat. The carbide is still there.
Yeah.
The metal is flat. That's how much ski pressure they run. Which was crazy to me.
We've been playing with where we put the carbide on the ski, like on how much you want on front of the spindle or behind the spindle.
Yep.
And it's like I keep going almost more and more in front of the spindle.
So you're doing more leading edge.
Yep. Because I feel like any farther back, it gets really heavy on initial like turn in. So I'm giving my secrets away now.
But it just makes sense. All your steering is going to be up front instead of, halfway through the rotation.
Because we got custom Woody's bars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Ricky.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out Rick.
Need some sunglasses.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
We don't endorse them.
We're not sponsored by him. That's the Carbide Podcast guy with him.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
We still want some sunglasses, damn it.
Yeah. I have a pair. It's fine.
I could get you some Scott sunglasses.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah. Well, like we said before, Spy. What the hell happened to Spy? We need some.
What
Spy.
happened to them?
We need some Spy sunglasses up in here.
They're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they still make Spy.
I think I bought a pair like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, they were a big deal for a long time.
Yeah, especially when Tucker ran them.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tucker Hibbert, so today I went out and bought a track from a guy I seen it on Marketplace. I messaged him, cheap hacksaw track. Or not a hacksaw, it was a ripsaw. So I messaged him. It's brand new. I went and picked it up. And the guy's, he parts out sleds just south of Pinehurst Resort. Go to Nadawash, Pinehurst, and you keep going past Pinehurst. And bought a track from him anyways, brand new track. And he was starting to take me through some of the stuff. Here he's got an 04 Hibbert mod sled sitting in the shed that he tears the stuff apart. And I was like, what are you doing with this? He's like, oh, I'm fixing up. Here he's been in contact with our friend Mike, Snowpro Mike.
Oh, Snowpro Mike.
Yeah. And it's a real 04 Hibbert mod.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I took a picture of it. I was like, this is pretty wicked, for what it is. And we started talking about stuff and just parts out sleds. And
Is he going to sell it or what's he going to do with it?
he's just restoring it.
Okay.
So I kind of hinted that. I was like, what are you doing with this thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
No, it was pretty neat because south of Pinehurst, there's nothing. It's barren land down there.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was kind of neat. But it was a real deal.
Did you go and do any old OG Nadawash races back in the day?
Oh yeah, we used to hit that. That was in 99, 2001, I think I did it.
Yeah.
Yep. You were just a kid back when I was.
Yeah, I would have been 4 or 5 years old there.
I'm old.
Probably racing 120s.
Yeah, you probably would have seen me on a kitty cat track there.
Kyle, we're not talking about you.
Oh, man.
Fuck you, Dale.
Yeah, fuck me, right?
Did you see? I posted results from the Goodridge 100.
Yeah, Dale Cluse.
And Dale was
Dale. Yeah.
Third.
Was he third?
Wasn't it third?
I thought it was top 5.
Was he top 5?
I thought
Dale
it was
used to be a runner back in the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that caught my eye right away when I seen that one. Fourth.
Is that when someone commented about Glenn being on a Polaris?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because Dad was in this fan class. He got like 5th or 6th in the fan class.
Oh, okay.
That was 97 Goodridge 100. Dad said that was always a really fun race to run back in the day.
That was a big race back here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Berggren? Per Berggren was not from Thief Falls. He was from Sweden.
Sweden?
Per Berggren was, yeah.
That does sound like a Sweden name. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Remember the mic if you're going to talk.
No, he was one of the foreign guys they would bring in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like Tony Heikkinen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Per Berggren was. Yep.
Yeah.
You remember him? Yep.
Ah,
No,
that's
good
pretty
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what do you think of Colin's ZRT build that they bought, this mod one?
Eric used to race it.
Is that the one that he raced?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought I was going to die on that thing.
Why?
So we started pole for that. Was it Thursday night deal or whatever?
Yeah,
you
the
know,
Sweet
at the Sioux?
16
Oh,
or
Sweet
whatever.
16.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So we were at pole on it, and
So it's fast.
and we come down that straightaway going into one to grab the green. I light that thing up, freaking blew the reeds out of it. I hit that inside bank. I'm like, get me off this sled because everybody's coming behind me.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me off this thing. Oh, but no, the thing's wicked fast. Yeah, that's an easy. I mean, easy $120. I mean, good luck catching it. Probably nobody else will know how to get there, but that
if it
sled will do it.
lasts.
You know,
If it lasts.
that sled's good for a couple 100,000 miles.
Should be. Should be.
I'm joking. That thing is fast though. Yours is going to be fast too. I mean, all you guys in these zerts are going to be fast.
I hope so.
Anybody with an XCR, like the XCR special motor, is going to be fast. You guys are.
Case-rate engine, yeah.
I mean, how many Sues did those things win? Oh my gosh. The only thing that could compete with them things back in the day was the Skidoos. Hardly. Oh, players did, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Todd
Cricky.
Cricky.
Yeah, that was Cricky did that, yeah.
Yeah, there is. I know of at least one Formula 3 out there. Dustin Dorn is setting a Skidoo up, so there should be at least one Skidoo out there.
So, I don't know. I just want to bring it up, like, for a debate that Todd Cricky only hit 117 with that sled that he set the lap record on, but it was just through the corner. He could pitch it sideways the whole time and carry momentum through the whole thing. But then straightaways 117, which I'm not saying it's not fast. That's fast.
Yeah.
That's really fast. But it's just cornering.
You ever see him or Pierce run through a corner?
No.
Next level.
Yeah.
Next level. It was like David Wall on an enduro track.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? Did that just happen in front of me? You know, that's a good point. You just brought up that we're gonna call out Austin Leak right now. He's got a Skidoo, right?
Yeah.
He's building a Skidoo.
Yep.
Why ain't he gonna be a Pine Lake?
He can't turn to the right.
Yeah, we've been.
Well,
It just comes down to
he's a
he can't-
lefty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just comes down to he can't turn right. We talk so much
Austin,
crap.
we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you.
Think of the content, Austin.
Yeah, the content. You could run for 2 days straight.
Austin, you can stay at the shop with me. You're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. You could fucking live at my house for a week. I don't care.
Katie won't like that. It's fine.
It's Austin.
You got a basement.
Anyway.
You got a basement.
Well, with Todd Cricky, I never knew he went so late into like the vintage stuff at Eagle River. Like I think he won all the way up until like 2012 or 2014.
He ran. He was wicked fast, and yeah, until his knees started giving him trouble, you know. But you know, it's great having Troy out there too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, all those guys. I mean, it's just great.
Yeah, John
great
Wick
group.
is still hanging around too.
Yeah, he is,
And he's the guy who did it the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all by himself.
Yeah.
He just ran a stock sled.
And won, right? On a
Stock.
Yeah, one doing the whole thing.
Three
by him-
times.
Three times
Yeah.
by himself.
Holy crap. That's
He ran
wild.
oval bars.
Yeah, just rode it.
It wouldn't bother me one bit to put a set of straight normal lake bars on at the Sioux.
I would, man. You got to come sprint racing.
No, I've seen your guys' bars on your sled last year. They're too far. There's too much straightaway at the Sioux to where you need to straighten them out a little bit.
You just got to be a little more neutral, okay?
No.
Honestly, I agree with
Body.
Gunner. Like,
No, I agree with Gunner too. I'm not.
Oh, man.
I'm
You
not, I don't ride like,
Like
this.
even Catarets have a little bend to it to where I wish it wouldn't bother me one bit to put a set of straight bars on. Just because it's what we're used to. It's what we're so
No,
used to.
I know that because I grew up with it. But then when I started racing ovals, and we threw some Wall Brothers bars on, I'm like, oh, this is way better.
Even the ones that they run on those half-mile enduro sleds, it's like once, because it gets rough out there, even in the chop towards the end.
You got to offset yourself. You got to be always.
Yeah, it plays with your mind a little bit to what you're used to. So you're always like, you're changing your arm angle almost a little bit.
Do you think that's what's messing with these guys? Why they can't turn to the left or turn to the right?
Because their bars are straight.
Bars are like this? Maybe.
Like we should do one weekend where put straight bars on everybody's sleds, do like 50 laps to the left and then 50 laps to the right.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. Could you imagine how the track would form up?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
A Jag.
I want to ride a Jag.
Yeah, we could do it on Jags. Yeah.
I'll
That
run
would be
those ER
Jags
440
with
then.
cleated, Jags with cleated tracks, and then we'll be.
Oh, we're going old Jag.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. That would be super fun.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Let's do it. Well, we've talked, other races we've talked about would be 500 miles of Pine Lake.
Yeah.
Okay, how are we going to do that?
It'd be plow break every 10 laps.
So it'd be 50 laps out there.
But just push the snowbank out more.
You're going to do a 10-mile.
Because our normal race is 10 laps, 100 miles.
But can we just get rid of the right-hand turns?
No, it's
No.
the same track.
It's 10-mile track
Make a big
every 10
10-mile
laps. Yeah. 10 laps.
5 miles, or 4.5 and a half mile turn.
No, it'd be the Pine Lake racetrack, but then 50 laps of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or 24 hours of Pine Lake. Bring back
You put light plants in every corner, and then you have something to aim for.
I think that would be a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
would be fun.
That would be pretty neat.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. You start at 8 a.m., you end at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
That would be wicked.
I mean, they did it at Eagle River 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
It's a little different when you're at Eagle River, but you could do it on Pine Lake if you really wanted to.
Yep.
And if a corner gets down to water, just push it out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could
that's
make it-
fine.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just make the whole track, 50 feet wide, something like that. Limited amount of entries, 10 entries.
Well,
10?
you can't do that.
You're going to have a team of 4 guys,
No, we're doing it solo.
24 hours. Yeah.
No,
No, you're going to have a team of 4 guys. Limited of 10 entries, 10 sleds.
4 guys? I don't know. You could do it 2 guys.
2 or 3.
I think the 24 hours at Eagle River, that was only 2 guys.
Yeah. 20 sleds. I'm just thinking about track conditions. Still going to get chewed up.
Yeah. We got plenty of ideas here.
But you could do
I
it.
like it.
We're just trying to promote a long race around here.
Yeah, true. That is the main thing that we've always talked about is
Yeah.
getting these longer races back going again.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
No
I
one-
think that would be, and get that excitement going again, too.
Yeah.
No,
Just
I totally agree.
get more people talking about it, thinking about it, how these were the races back in the day that people talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they're gone.
yes.
And it's like we got to try to start something.
In
Or
endurance
at least
right
get the
back.
conversation back going again. We don't have to start anything. We just have to get the conversation going again.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, you look at the I-500 back in 69. That's a crazy idea to run
Yep.
500 miles on a leaf spring sled.
You're absolutely
That's
right.
a crazy idea, but it happened, and it's
Yeah.
still going today.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, but
So we're going to bring my wife into this podcast right now via FaceTime.
Oh, we could have Bluetooth to the
yeah.
to the board. And,
do it.
it'd be too.
Gunnar would have to call her.
We don't have to do this.
Well, then we'd have to put the headphones on.
She was sleeping. Last night, she...
Went a little hard, huh? You want to talk to Tara, John?
I don't know. I'll just keep the conversation going.
So this is what Joe Rogan.
This is what we do. This is how we normally do it.
Yeah, you see how different it is?
You can hear yourself.
I can.
Hello?
Honey,
Yeah.
you're on the podcast.
Oh,
You're
I'm
live
like phoning?
You're live right now.
You sound so smooth, Eric.
We have our special guest.
I know. I'm like, what's with this voice I'm hearing?
That's the voice you like.
Eric, now that we're on the phone with Tara, it's not about you, okay? Hey, Tara, how's it going?
Thank you.
Hey, guys. I saw the last name on here, and I was nervous to answer. I was like, oh, God. What could this be?
Well, you're live.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello. How you doing?
Tara, who runs the social media page for Northern Crankshafts, is live on the line. Tara, what do you think about Eric going racing at Pine Lake this year?
I'm 100% not loving that idea.
Okay, well, he's 100% in, so we're 50-50 right now. We'll flip a coin.
I like those odds. I like those
We'll
odds.
flip a coin and then let God decide.
You know, I would maybe consider it if I could actually watch an entire race at Pine Lake, but, you know, they have to update the fan section. So we see more than just the finish line. You know, it could be exciting, but I can't get into it, and it looks very dangerous.
I have a sled you can ride around the lake, whatever. That's fine.
Oh,
It's a Jag.
It's a Jag.
Oh.
We'll put you on a Jag. No, we'll put you on a 25 Polaris
Could you even
Indy
imagine?
cross country.
She shouldn't be on anything.
Okay.
I would be the show, honestly, if we put me on something like that.
Why?
would not
Because
be safe.
you'll be crashing so much, or what?
Well, I just really don't know. I just don't trust myself with a throttle.
I think you'll be fine. This is Brody, by the way. We met again last night.
Brody, I keep meeting you for the first time.
Yes. Yes. This is now the third time we've met for the first time. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I love it. We'll remember it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Are you guys having a good day?
We are.
Good night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going good so far, I think.
Is Johnny Crank behaving?
No.
Johnny Crank can't hear you because he doesn't have headphones on.
But he's doing fine.
He's grinning right now, isn't he? Shaking his
honey,
head.
Gunnar has a
Yeah.
question for you.
What?
Have you ever been like two-up riding with Eric on the Sioux sled at all? Like, how did that go?
I almost lost my life. My life flashed before my eyes. I think he was honestly trying to show off or something, but he's like, you know, he was testing and he said, just hop on. So I had an oversized jacket on. I didn't have any gloves on, 0% had a helmet on, and he just takes off. We're going like 150 miles an hour, and let's not worry about the left turn that's coming up. I swear to God, I'm like, my kids are going to have no mom. Like, I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was the scariest thing I've ever had happen to me, and I will never, ever trust him on anything. I can barely ride in a vehicle with him. I don't trust him. So that's how that went.
Yeah, 150 miles an hour. That was unreal.
I mean,
Yeah.
that one's really got some goose. I wish I
As
had that one
he
at the
has
Sioux.
all the protective gear on, helmet, everything. Nope, not his girlfriend sitting on the back.
You
Like,
had
let's
me in
just
front of
almost
you.
killed her.
That's all you needed.
Oh, Lord. So that's how that went. That did not go well. Mm-mm. And I haven't been on one since.
That is true.
Nope.
You couldn't say
Very true.
you had a little fun, though. Like, you got to say you had at least a little bit of fun.
Well, I mean, it took me about 3 years just to stop being upset about it. But I guess now, if I think back and I know I survived it, it was okay.
Yeah, see? You had a good time. Yeah.
That was at Baymont. Or what do they call that?
Yeah, Bay Mills.
Bay Mills. Yeah, we were out testing at Bay Mills.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, so that's my experience with racing and Eric.
Good to
Oh,
hear.
Time.
Well, yeah, we're here getting the full Northern Crankshaft experience on the Shop Talk podcast, so it's been going good.
We're having a great
I
time.
love it. I was hoping that, well, do you ever like put clips of you guys doing this live or someone in there? Kinda like-
No, not live. Like, we're not that technically advanced yet. So
Okay.
But it'll be out on Tuesday of this coming week, and then there will be a few clips out on that after that. So
You guys chop it up and do whatever you want.
a little bit. Yep.
Your story might be a clip somewhere.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
That's perfect.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
So embarrassing, but Mrs. Crankshaft survived, so
Good to
it's all
hear.
good.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling, guys, and
You think you're
have
getting
fun.
off the
Maybe we'll
phone?
see
You're
you
not
out later.
getting off the phone yet.
I'm not.
No. You're part of the interview.
Well, what else did you have to add, Eric?
You can hang up the phone. It's fine.
No, you're good. You're good, babe.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for receiving the call.
We appreciate your call
Special
in.
guest. Like I said, I was pretty nervous when I saw that last name pop up. I'm like, oh, what is this?
It's the real deal.
Love it.
Right.
So you guys have fun.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. See ya.
All right. Yeah, bye.
Thanks, guys.
Well, yeah, that was nice. Interesting.
That's going to save me later tonight. she wanted to come, and I'm like, oh, you're sleeping. I'm leaving. I just left. I love this. Roger Skyme, episode 50.
Yep.
You know whose race number that is?
Oh, it's yours. Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah. Is there any meaning to 50?
Honestly, the funny thing is, that was my BMX number when I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, really?
Racing BMX bikes.
You race BMX bikes?
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yep. I still have my first bike, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because there was a track in Thief River, I
Yeah.
remember, like
Yep.
right there at
then
that stoplight kind of. It was. I remember it being like kitty corner where the Holiday gas station was.
That was the second one.
So there was one right there. Okay, so my memory is right.
Now your kid is getting into BMX stuff, right?
I've been encouraging just for something to do, you know.
Yeah.
But he's a big fan of Chase Sexton.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. heck
good
yeah.
guy to be a fan of.
And I don't mind it one
Yeah.
bit. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yep.
We actually had Chase Sexton's mechanic on our show.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
man.
from, where is he from?
From Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Oh, man.
Or no.
Langdon?
Um,
North Dakota, anyways. Right
Yeah.
across the
oh
border.
no, Pembina.
Pembina.
Yeah, Pembina, North
Pembina.
Dakota. Yep.
Yeah, so we had him on the podcast, and after we had him on the podcast, Chase Sexton won the championship.
Yeah.
And then he was mechanic of the year.
He actually retired from being
Yep,
mechanic
yep,
now
he's
too.
retired
He's
now.
done.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's done. It's done traveling, being
Yeah.
a traveling mechanic.
Yeah.
So
He went out on top, Peyton Manning.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah,
that's great.
that was pretty cool to have him on. We'd also called Eli Tomac's practice bike mechanic.
Yeah.
Kyle Lawler. We talked to him one episode. That was
All
pretty
for
cool
fun.
too. So yeah, we're just as big into the dirt bike stuff here as the
Absolutely.
snowmobile stuff.
We should get Mitch Payton on.
He owns a cabin down at Mille Lacs.
Yeah.
He owns a
You want me to call him?
Yeah, right.
I'll call him right now.
We don't.
I don't know if he'll answer.
We don't need any more phone calls on
No,
that.
I don't,
No, I'm dead serious.
no, we don't need
Yeah, no, we're good. Yeah,
He'll probably-
one phone call is nice enough. That is cool though.
No, I mean,
How do you know him?
so when I worked at Lube Tech, who makes all the oil for Arctic and Polaris,
Oh, yep.
Skidoo and whatever, my boss, his sister is married to Mitch.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Mitch, yeah. No, he's just great.
What a small world.
It is. No, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's like I've called him on motorcycle questions I've had like through the years.
Really?
And stuff. Oh yeah, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
He always, if we go to a race, he always gives us stuff. You know, he's great. Hey, Mitch. Hey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want it, we can call him whenever. I mean, he's literally just he's the most down to earth guy you ever met.
Yeah.
Great guy.
That's cool to hear. Hell yeah.
Well, we got a contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a contact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, what we'll do is next time we'll line it up when he comes to Minnesota and we'll get him on.
Yeah, there we go. Mitch Payton, future guest of the Shop Podcast.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Why not? I
Yeah.
mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Got a contact. Let's line it up.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great thing for the industry. I mean, this is wonderful. I mean,
Yeah, We really haven't talked that much about Northern Crankshaft, so.
But we would rather talk about you.
I know. Yeah, as much as I like that, yeah. You know me, I'm such a selfish guy. No. I know you guys bought D&D out.
We bought, we didn't buy the company out.
Overstock inventory.
We bought some inventory out.
Okay.
For them, yeah.
So that's pretty neat because D&D has been doing it for a long time. They got a lot.
Dale and Dan did a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
great.
Not Dungeons and Dragons?
No,
D&D?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
D&D.
All right, good to know.
I don't know what it is. Power Sports would be
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, no, they had them on the Carbide podcast, and that was really the first time that I learned that you guys bought their overstock inventory stuff. Yeah. So like, thought that was kind of cool because like, you know us, we fucking get into all this old shit.
You make it sound like a bad thing.
Well, when the races pop up, where hey, we're gonna race triples this year, and then I know D&D had an awesome clutching stuff like that for triples, ZRT stuff. So anybody, if you have any of that overstock inventory, stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, there might be one racer. I'm not going to name any names or say anything. That maybe got some stuff from me. I don't know how good he's going to be against you guys, or maybe as one of you guys. I don't know.
I really like myself, so I'm going to say good luck.
Some of you guys are cheating. Like some of you guys are cheating. Like I don't know. Like this is your guys' deal. I just supply parts.
Are you cheating, Kyle?
Yeah.
Doesn't everyone try to cheat?
It's an open class, bro.
Then there's really no cheating.
I mean,
Open's open.
Open is open.
Yeah.
You can measure the cylinders, and it's still 600 cc's. But
Hey, did you ever find out how many pounds of nitrous we can shoot into your motor?
yeah. So that's what's next on the list is mounting the turbo.
Open is open. That should be the next slogan.
Yeah. No, I thought that was pretty cool. I never knew that you guys bought a lot of overstock, and
It was really great. So Todd Hogue bought Dale and Dan out, and I think it was about a year and a half or two after he bought them out, roughly in there. Him and I were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I got all this stuff," and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna fly out and take a look at it." So I flew out, spent a weekend going through everything. Come back a couple weeks later, literally loaded up a 58-foot semi.
that's crazy.
Full.
Just packed it full.
Packed. And that wasn't all of it.
Really?
That was a portion of it. And, it was like, you wanted it, so we made our deal. And it was good though. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, Dale Rose, you want to talk about a guy that can make some power out of something? That man can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you come up with like buying something like that? Do you just be like you kind of went through inventory a little bit of like, you got this much of this much of these, this much of that?
Well, on this particular deal, so we honestly, we just FaceTimed. And he's like, here's what I got. So he showed me like this room of cylinders and this and that.
A room of cylinders. Just want to point that out to everybody. A room of cylinders. Think of the room that we're sitting in, full of cylinders.
Now let me add to that. Not only a room, but now let's go to the next building that is full of cylinders.
God damn.
That's crazy.
So it was pallets upon pallets of cylinders.
Oh my gosh.
And we FaceTimed, and I'm like, Todd, I just need to come out and look at it. You know, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll be on a flight in a couple weeks. I mean, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it was, we worked out a good deal, and worked out for him, worked out for us, and D&D. I mean, that was the first mod sled I ever rode in a snowcross track. Was a D&D 720 mod in West Yellowstone.
Yeah.
In 2000, the year 2000. And I blew the chain case.
Yeah, just as long as you didn't blow the engine. That's
I think I was leading too, wasn't I? Imagine that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how it works.
Chain case in half. Wasn't even my sled.
Oh,
I powered it.
But it's kind of a similar. Is it like a similar story on how Gene kind of came to buy like all of Black Magic's overstock stuff, or
Gene Sovey?
yeah?
No, different scenarios.
Oh, I see.
Different scenario. The Black Magic thing, I don't know much about any of that. What happened there? I know when they went to auction or whatever, but because you bought.
Oh, I see.
You could walk in and they had stuff kind of categorized.
Yeah.
And then like I wanted the crank cores that they had and stuff, and I was talking with Arnie Senior, and he says, yeah, he said, you can buy them. He said, but he says, if you buy them crank cores that are upstairs, he said, I want you to take everything. I don't want to just start. I said, well, what do you want for it? And so he named the price, and I said, okay, I'll buy them. And as the stuff kept coming down, it was just ridiculous. I had stuff piled in the shop, just, oh, God.
Just not enough space to store it all.
No,
Just keep piling it on top.
Yep.
That's the guy who I went and bought that track from today. He claims he bought all of Speedworks' old inventory. So, yeah, it's pretty neat, some of the stuff he was showing me. And I was like, this is, some really sought-after stuff. And he was wanting to sell it to me, and I was like, well, I don't have a use for it, but I'm going to keep it in mind. And he's not really – he has an eBay page and stuff like that, but he's not really promoting. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. So – yeah, that's it's really neat how some of that stuff works out.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, and living just south of Pinehurst, I'd never seen the guy, met him before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want to,
Did you have any good stuff?
The track, for sure. Yeah. The track that I bought was brand new. Yeah. Got a hell of a deal on it.
What, like helixes and like stuff like that? Or?
Not so much helixes. It was more engine parts.
Oh, really?
It's like the 728 Speedworks mod engines.
Yeah.
That's the stuff he was showing me.
Oh,
and,
I see.
720s.
Yeah, the 730 is what he.
730.
Yeah. So he was showing me all the exhaust valves for it and stuff. I said,
Has he got the cylinders for this?
Yeah. He showed me a set, and he didn't tell me. He said, I would be interested in these.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, a lot of... Yeah. Yeah, there's your swap for your F7.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we don't need to do
I
that.
was looking at it, I was like, yeah, this is legit. It's all the right stuff. And
Pipes too?
Yep, pipes were there too. Yep, Speedworks pipes. Yeah.
Well, hell, maybe talking about them, you might get a little more business after you talk about them.
I'm not giving that resource up.
You can buy it through Grover Motorsports.
Yeah. I'll be the middleman. Yeah. No, he has mutual friends between all of us. So, yeah. Nice. Yeah. So, thought that was kind of neat. Anyways, Thundercats too. I was like, man, that's pretty sweet. You remember when the Thundercat came out, John?
Oh, yeah.
So the original 900 had a balancer on it.
Counterbalance,
Yeah, to stop vibration.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's by far the smoothest two-stroke that ever hit the industry.
Yeah.
And you could put a glass of water on top of them when they're idling, and you just barely see it wiggle.
Really?
Just amazing.
Just because it had a counterbalance on it.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
There's an
damn.
extra shaft in the engine that stops out all the other rotating mass vibration.
Really?
You cannot balance reciprocating weight without a counterbalance. You can take the spike out of it at certain RPMs, and when people say they're balancing it, they're somewhat balancing it, but unless you have some kind of counterbalance, you never really balance it. You can say this motor is smooth at, say, 7,000 RPM. You'd bring it up to 8,500 or 9, the motor just starts to destroy clutch weights and do odd stuff. So then you change the weight on the crankshaft and you get rid of that. And it's just, you make the motor basically good for what you need it for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, you know. Whereas the Thundercat motor was, you know, it just was a great, great motor. Yeah.
Would having that shaft in there with the counterbalance, would that take any power away from the engine?
Yeah, you're turning some extra iron, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a 9-pound shaft.
Oh, really? 9 pounds? Wow. That seems like a lot, but I guess you need a lot of weight to counterbalance.
The drag racers would pull them out, but the problem was if you got, you know, the guys that were running, say, 600 feet or less, it would help because your acceleration would pick up.
Sure.
Any further, and the one with the counterbalance would just run right by it.
Wow. That's interesting.
And then, yeah, we built a lot of different combinations on that motor through the years, you know, different, oh man, yeah, that motor was good for the shop.
Yeah. Still is.
Yeah.
I still do a lot. I mean,
Take the mic.
that Thundercat base foundation of a motor in the natural aspirated classes, 1,000 cc's and up, is still the most dominant thing there is.
Yeah, you look at like all the Pro Stock 1000s and stuff like that. A lot of them are Thundercat.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some wicked Skidoos out there.
Yeah.
There's some wicked Polaris's. I mean, there is. But I mean, it's tough to beat a Hooper base motor. I mean, it really is. And we work some combinations out with him and everything just works out, you know, and some of it doesn't, and we figured it out. But yeah, that's kind of the go-to.
Yeah.
Really?
Really. And for a small reed cage motor, you know, I mean, that reed cage on the motor is the same as what was in the ZR440.
Yeah. Yep.
For a 700.
Or
Oh, for
900.
Oh, for that. Holy wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Suzuki missed the exhaust port.
oh, their angle on that is
You know,
horrible.
it's just not a good angle. You know, everything is kind of wrong. It was
It was
built-
like a lawnmower.
yeah, it's just
Seriously, I mean, the port timing on 1,000 Thundercat is like a lawnmower.
just yeah.
Junk.
Did you guys ever get to play with like one of them, like one of the 2 or 3 1100 triples that Artie Cat had prototyped? That I think Jim Dimmerman had put it in that sled.
Dad did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, they were knocking the mag ends off of them because they were trying different things, and so we put roller bearings on the mag ends. They wanted us to weld them, and then they went to they were playing quite a few different things. And, but in the snow part of it, they just used a roller bearing, and it stood up real well because they run the small flywheel.
Yeah.
So you didn't have the weight. And the Watercraft 1100, they couldn't keep a mag end on the crank to begin with. And so they went to a heavier taper, and then they went to a roller bearing, and then they got it to last. And we worked with them guys on that.
That's because just today I was looking at our Firecat just sitting there in the garage, and I was like thinking back to 01 or 02 when they were debating on the light twin F7 or the 1100 triple. It's like, could you imagine? Well, did Joey say if they would have put that in the Firecat chassis or if that would have been in the ZR chassis? I can't quite remember.
That would have been in ZR chassis. ZR.
You'd think it'd be way too wide.
For the Firecat, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the Firecat. I know when they put the 1,000 lay-down motor in the Firecat chassis and ran it out on the asphalt
Really?
on the Smiley Road.
Yeah.
God
I
damn.
think they were going about 130 miles an hour on that thing. Ugh.
Why can't I race that thing on Pine Lake?
Yeah, right.
Bring her over.
That would be,
We'll get you fixed up.
God damn, that would be so cool. Holy shit.
We'll just put a 700. We'll just right 700 on the head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all you need.
It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's classics. Yeah. No big deal.
With you on that F7, it should be able to go 115, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty more than that, you'd say?
Well,
It is 04, so it does have the 9-tooth drivers, and so we are debating on 10-tooth drivers in that one.
change
But-
them. And then we'll talk about this off air.
But secrets?
Speed secrets.
Speed secrets? Oh, yeah. We like those.
We'll talk off air.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's all you need to say. Yeah.
Austin Leak, don't worry about this. I love that guy. I'm just messing with him.
Screw you, Austin. No, he shot a little buck today. I was like, why'd you shoot a baby buck? I was like,
Why is he shooting baby
it was
bucks?
like a 2 or 3 year old one. I would have had to
man.
guess.
Taking back what I said now.
Take his number plate down.
Yeah, this is number 22 number plate right there behind you.
Signed.
Yep.
Pretty snazzy.
I'm going to sign over that.
No, we've had Austin call in a couple times.
He's such a great guy.
Yeah. But you guys are kind of getting into a lot of different things now with your trailer sales, and even the real estate that you have kind of surrounding your shop there.
Yep, we got a housing development, 50-acre housing development going up. But not only that, I mean, like Dad took on a huge venture this past probably, what would you say, 5 years with the vintage motorcycle stuff. We as a company won the Cannonball Coast to Coast race with the vintage motorcycle races.
Really?
And this is basically
No idea.
like pre-1920.
Holy crap.
1920 Harleys, Indians, all that. And so we put a lot of work into this thing. Dave Courier is the rider and the owner of the motorcycle, but you think about this. So we took a single cylinder cast iron cylinder, like Harley Davidson.
11 Harley. Yeah.
This thing had, what was it, 7 horse factory? 6? 4 horse factory.
Yeah.
So and I can't say a lot of me, but mainly Dad. And I mean, I was a little bit a part of it, but mainly him. We brought it to the Harley dealer, and we had this thing on the rear wheel dyno, and we were dynoing 14 horse at the rear wheel. This motor originally at the motor was 4 horsepower.
Yeah.
We got 14 at the rear wheel. I know the numbers aren't big,
No.
but that's a huge gain.
Yes.
And this guy, he did good. He did good. And then the second year he ran it, after he won it, he lost on a default clause, some kind of BS. He won the race.
We got second.
Got second, but he won the race essentially as far as lapse time and everything like that. He won on a faulty factor of the other guy's bike was a couple years older or some crap, which personally I think get it out of the rule book.
Yeah. Just a weird rule.
Your time is what wins a race.
Yeah.
Not the age of your bike. Get out. But
Yeah.
those are, and I mean, Dad, he'd be on the road with them for 25 days.
Really?
Wow.
Coast to coast. I mean, they start and they don't stop until they get to that. They start at a coast and end at a coast.
Start in the Atlantic and end up in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Just like a traveling pit crew, kind of.
Yeah, 2 guys in the keep the bike going.
How fast is he going?
He runs at about 42 to 45.
God damn.
There's no suspension, Gunner.
Yeah.
No suspension.
Oh, I can imagine.
I was going to say, this sounds like something I'd like to do, but after hearing that, screw that. I'm no longer interested.
I'll never forget after the first time we won it, we were all celebrating and whatever. And, the guys that finished whatever place and they're like, oh man, great job guys. And we're like, oh, thank you. Good job to you. And they're like, when did you start on this? 2 years ago? Like, when did you start? Last month? Like,
Oof.
well,
I guess that's why.
it's like you got a motor that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Atmospheric valve. You don't.
What does that even mean?
motor has an atmospheric intake valve. So you have a mechanical exhaust, so that cycles in time with the motor.
Mm-hmm.
The atmospheric intake cycles on the suction of the piston, so that creates your intake cycle, but then you don't have anything that controls the backdraft on the next cycle. So you got gas spray and all kinds of dirty deals. Yeah. And you can get it to time pretty good at certain RPMs, but when you change the RPM, which we were doing, it almost acts like you got floating valves, you know, on a shade or something, you know. And so we played with that, and we tried a lot of different things, and we ended up, the original carburetor was a Chevrolet carburetor, and they had a poppet valve in the back of the carburetor that would work. So we kind of redesigned something like that in the front of the carburetor, and God, we got that thing working so well. Yeah.
It was a long project.
It sounds like it. It sounds
days.
Yeah.
Days.
Tear apart, try.
Go to the dyno. Yeah. Oh, it was, but it was well worth it.
Yeah.
Hats off to Dave Curry on a 1-2 for the last. Oh gosh, and those guys come in. I mean, these are old men. I mean, they're not young.
Yeah.
They come in riding this. Oh my gosh.
no suspension.
Oh no.
45 miles per hour. Coast to coast.
Grinding.
Just grind. That's like, the pinnacle of a grind. It's just slow, long miles.
Just beat.
Oh my God. I
Just
couldn't even
beat.
imagine. That would suck so much. Like I said, at the first thought of it, I was like, this is interesting. I like the sound of this. But now it's like, I don't want to do it. Yeah, with a little more speed, like it would be fun. But are you just how are you racing? Just down the roads?
Yeah, secondary roads mostly. But
Wow.
you still got to go through cities because you got to get to motels. So they're running on some pretty busy roads, and it's
Is there like a GPS track that you have to follow, or is it just kind
So
of
it's crazy. So like, as soon as they take off in the morning, like he can be there at the start, him and the other guy, but they cannot follow them. They are on their own.
really? Wow.
And they're given two different routes.
Yeah.
He has a route to go to the final destination, and the driver has a route this way. And yeah, it got pretty dicey this last year with some, you know, like anything. Like there was some drafting and some team play. That's racing, right? That's racing.
Oh yeah.
Like, that guy was gunning hard, and he leveraged an upper hand that we weren't ready for. Overall speed, yeah, he was buried, but he played these little defaults. Which, if you want to win like that, you win like that.
Yeah.
Like myself, I would be like, no, that's not my win. That's me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't beat you. I'm not going to win because my bike's 2 years older than yours. No, I don't care. But that's how they do it.
Yeah, that's how it's got cut up at the end.
But you talk about a race of money.
Really?
There ain't one of those bikes that's worth under $100,000.
Holy shit.
Every
To go
single-
45 miles per hour.
most of them are insured for $150,000 to $250,000
Holy shit.
each bike.
And I've never even heard about this.
Never heard of it.
You talk about a group of wealthy people,
Damn.
Yeah.
Just a niche,
amazing,
small
people
group
to
of
be
amazing
hang out
people.
with.
Yeah.
I mean, so much fun. Just the greatest people. I mean, down to earth.
Yeah. God.
And the best thing is, I think we got the smallest trailer we pull out.
that was pretty unique.
And I'm like, we got to change this up.
No, they don't give a shit.
Well, yeah. But yeah, no. So what else we got, guys?
I don't know. That was kind of all I had written down here. It was just I knew we had a lot to talk about, and I knew it would just kind of get scattered because you guys got a lot going on.
That's the greatest thing about this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a natural.
Did I see Matt Cameron on here?
No, most common.
Oh.
Most common crank you'd seen come through.
Oh,
and then we got to that.
We did.
Sorry, Alex Satine.
No. They all make good stuff, and it's all a bunch of crap at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of them does something really good, and every one of them, it's like, why'd you do it like that?
Well, it's like any car. I mean, any vehicle. It doesn't matter what you drive. They're gonna break. I mean,
Yeah.
they all do great. I mean, I love when guys call and they're like, "I got this 800 Polaris. Heard they're bad." I'm like, "No, they just made more than everybody else. You're fine." Like, no. I mean, think about that. I mean, they made how many more thousands of that motor
Yeah.
in comparison
Yeah.
to any single run of an Arctic motor?
Yeah, you could scroll through Facebook Marketplace, and it's 2 out of every 4. You'd scroll
You
through,
know.
it'd be a Polaris 800.
I mean, and that motor did that company good. Very good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So when are we going to talk about how we're going to buy Arctic?
Well, I was gonna bring up, you gonna see you again at the Sioux, I'm assuming?
We'll be there.
Oh yeah?
We'll be there.
Hell yeah. Cool.
We're going to be there.
You gonna be riding or wrenching?
It's up to Kenny Murphy. Congrats, anyways, with Kenny Murphy. He got
we just
married
got-
last weekend.
just got
Eric
back.
was there.
Oh yeah,
Eric's
I
been
remember
busy.
that, yeah.
Eric's been busier than heck
Yeah.
past couple of weeks.
Oh, man. Yeah. We flew out for that wedding and had a great time. Beautiful wedding. Austin Cody. Good luck to you, my friend. I apparently learned how a free bar works from Austin Cody.
Oh,
And I don't ever want to work a free bar like that in my life. He sat next to me. It was like a bar rail. I mean, it was beer and booze,
yeah.
like just piled up.
Yeah.
That's not why we have a free bar here. And it was funny because, well, me and my wife, we were in bed by 10 that night. We had a great time. And I think Austin was down about that time too. And I'm going to leave it there, and you guys can figure out the rest later. Ask Hannah. Ask Hannah what happened.
Training hard for the season.
I like a free bar.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Really good.
But yeah, no, see you again at the Sioux. That would be nice. That'd be
Oh,
cool.
we'll be there.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Are we gonna bring this stuff out there?
Ooh.
That's been a thought of trying to.
You should.
Well, everyone's so busy.
Yeah, we
like
have
when
so
the hell
much
would we
going
even
on
do
out there.
this?
That's the
Like
best part.
you
You
know-
gotta interrupt it. You gotta interrupt it.
True. Yeah. That will make it
Nothing
like
else goes on camera.
yeah.
No, we've thought about it, but it's we'll think about it.
We can say we'll see you at Pine Lake next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Are you gonna bring this to Pine Lake?
We're here, bro.
Yeah.
Just drive here.
We're in Clearbrook. We're in Clearbrook.
Yeah.
Pine Lake is us.
No, that way.
Is that way?
That way.
It's not even that far that way.
You walk a couple miles that way.
you'll hit water.
Me and Murph, we'll manage this while you guys are out racing.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I don't know about managing this. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is my setup.
Can you just like preset it?
Yeah.
Yes and no, but still, this is my baby.
Yeah, we could have live commentation on the races.
Yeah.
Here.
We should mic you up.
That would be cool.
Corey Loeffler asked me to do that a few years ago, and I don't think people want to hear what I have to say while I'm racing.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of hurt feelings, I think.
No, if you're like, God, man, I can't believe he talks to himself like that. Like, you dumb son of a
Everybody
bitch.
does it.
Everyone does it though.
Everybody does it.
Exactly.
We got to get him into some therapy.
Yeah,
I would-
everybody does it.
Just push the corner just a hair wide, just touch the outer berm with the ski. It's like, you goddamn idiot.
Yeah,
I'm talking about myself, not the guy in front of me.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd mic myself up just for the classics race. That would be so cool. I would do that
We
100%.
need to do that.
Yeah.
I would 100% do that. That would be so
I
fun.
think there'd just be a
you have
lot
a
of
fuel stop
grunting
on
and
that one?
groaning.
No.
No fuel stop?
No fuel stop in the classics class.
No, they only go for like 3 laps.
Yeah, 3-4 laps. That's all we do.
I can't wait.
No,
I can't wait.
But yeah, that would be fun to mic up.
You should.
That's all we've been looking forward to all year. It's Pine Lake.
It's literally what we've talked about every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, that was me growing up. Like Pine Lake was the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Growing up, I'm like, let's go. And Dad'd be like, it's just an ice race.
It's more than that.
Iron Man. I mean, it was just great.
That was different days back then, though.
Yeah.
Well, we've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So
Perfect.
2.5 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
It goes.
That's
It goes by fast, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've had a great time.
hell yeah. Oh yeah. This has been I think a good episode. Yeah.
What? You cut it down. You condense it.
No, it's the whole thing.
It's the whole
thing.
the whole conversation.
Even with us going to the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we don't edit. We
it
try not to edit anything. We've only edited a couple times throughout the whole
people will put this on and watch the whole 2-hour thing.
Yeah.
or listen to the whole 2-hour
It's the
thing.
raw emotion that people really like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're
We're still going. Yeah. We haven't turned anything off.
I love it.
This is a podcast. This is what
I get it.
This is what the media and the internet has produced is just conversations.
This is a great thing, and you guys are doing a great job, and I really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
No, we
I really
appreciate.
do.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming down here and doing this with us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been in the works for a long time.
Yeah.
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 It has.
We've been
And
talking
I tell you what, you guys are welcome to come and do a podcast at the shop, too.
There we
Yeah.
go.
That would be cool.
It'd be great.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
We can
Hell
do a
yeah.
walk around, and always welcome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say? Anything else to promote? Nothing?
No, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Northern Crankshaft.
Northern Crankshaft.
.com.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Hell yeah. There you go. Cool.
All right. Thanks, Johnson Electric, for sponsoring today's episode.
Use Shop Talk 10 as Woody's traction.
Yep. Promo code. Yep. So,
Awesome.
all right. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.